Yeah! Woo! Happy Friday to those who celebrate. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you. And it is a Bar Card Friday, boys. We got Tony Kanja, Keg and Bottle. He's coming in with Jefferson Bourbon. We're going to be sampling a little bit of the brown juice today. Can't wait for that.
Was I the only one that thought Tony seemed a little starstruck on our text chain last night? Like, it seems like this one's a big deal to him.
Yeah, he's very interested in Jefferson. Also, by the way, starstruck is probably an accurate word because I guess they all sampled this over at KMB Bistro. Which, by the way, if you want more information on that, kegandbottle.com. KMB Bistro hosts these liquor tastings, these wine tasting nights,
which are a ton of fun.
Yeah, we did a steak and bourbon night over there.
A couple of those.
Yeah. And they are a awesome time. So the KMB Bistro location in Del Cerro, it's right near the SCSU campus. It's right off the 8. It's like this phenomenal space. You have liquor stacked on these shelves all the way up to the ceiling, and they're like 25-foot ceilings. And then on the other side of that, he has this open space where he'll bring in these distillers or these brewers or these, people who own vineyards, and they'll showcase their goods and their wares while you eat like a 5-course meal. It is unbelievable. So yeah, we're super excited to have Tony Kanja, and we're also super excited to have Trey, who's the owner of Jefferson Bourbon, on the show while we sample through some of his fine spirits. Gonna be a fun morning.
I'm pretty sure that yesterday on the text string we determined, Trey and I are gonna hang out a lot.
Yeah, you guys
fishing,
probably spooning.
Am I the big spoon?
What do you think?
I'm a little spoon.
Yeah, you're a ladle is what you are, my friend. You are a ladle. Also, Matt Friend, if you haven't heard of him, he's all over TikTok. He's one of the greatest impressionists I think I've ever seen. He's going to be coming in studio today. We have Jared Smith, our NFL betting analyst. He's going to be on the show today.
We also have some big news we got to announce here that, we'll probably wait for Tony to stop on by, but something fun going on.
Yeah.
So
literally 2 weeks from today, there is something really, really fun in the works. So there's a lot going on today. There's a lot going on this weekend, specifically on Sunday, as the NFL takes over. It is going to be AFC, or I should say really conference championship weekend. On the AFC side, we have the Ravens hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. On the NFC side, it's going to be the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Detroit Lions in Santa Clara. Let's focus on the Ravens, though. We talk a lot about this NFC championship game for obvious reasons, because our very own Ben Fletcher here is like, he's the host of Brock Talk.
Yeah, that's right.
He's
got a dog named Brock.
He's a Purdy apologist.
Yeah, he's thrown away all one half of the pairs of socks he owns.
Yeah.
Just needs one. One sock.
You only need one sock.
You really need one sock.
Big sock, Brock.
I get it.
Yeah.
And also, obviously, that's going to be one of those games where Brock Purdy has a ton to prove, apparently. Because after that game against Green Bay Packers, what happened to the NFL analyst / sports talk world, it set it on fire. I had no idea it was such a polarizing matter, such a polarizing player. But yeah, Jared Goff, obviously, all of his things. But are we bored of talking about the greatness of Patrick Mahomes? Are we bored of talking about how insanely talented Lamar Jackson is? Because I feel like this matchup has barely gotten any light.
You know, Rich, you say it all the time. We can't wait to build people up to tear them back down. And if you guys have been on TikTok or Instagram the last few days, have you seen all the videos tearing down the Chiefs and saying, what would it say? Captain Lamarica is coming to save the day and rescue us from Brittany and Jackson Mahomes and rescue us from
Captain
the Swifties.
Lamarca.
Yeah. Captain Lamarica. That is what he's being called right now. Lamar Jackson is getting like the internet support to come and take down the Chiefs finally. So it's not another year of Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
Wow. I haven't seen any of that. I don't know what your algorithm is.
I'll send you some videos. Yeah. They're effing hilarious.
That's fun. I don't know. Another year of Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. I mean, we've only seen him twice in the Super Bowl. However, we've seen him at this big dance here 5 times now.
3 Super Bowl visits, 1 loss to Brady and 2 victories, one over San Francisco, one over the not Bengals. Who was the other victory over? He beat San Francisco,
Niners, and
he lost to Brady. And why am I blanking on the other
I can't
team?
remember either. Woo-wee.
Yeah,
look it up.
Oh, the Rams? Was it?
No,
the
that was wait.
That was the Patriots beat the Rams. Why can't I remember?
Man,
we're not going.
Was it Taylor Swift?
Step
was it Taylor Swift
until we find out
Jason
who the hell
Kelce.
he won?
Oh wait,
or he beat?
Was the Eagles?
It was the Eagles.
There
Jesus,
good Lord!
I mean,
I said Jason Kelce. And went,
happened.
oh yeah, that just happened.
Yeah, that was last year. That was a fun time.
That was a fun time. That was pre-Taylor. It's hard to remember.
Yeah. Everything pre-Taylor. We call that PT here.
Right.
We don't really care about. And maybe that's the reason why the Chiefs have been such a low burn this season, because people are tired of it for multiple reasons. They've been at the top for so long. Taylor Swift, that story has burned people out. Maybe the Chiefs have exhausted everybody.
Yeah, but I mean, is there the love of the Ravens that is surpassing the love for Taylor Swift? I mean, I feel like NFL fans are probably rooting for the Ravens here, but general fans, my wife is all about the Chiefs. My daughter's all about the Chiefs. People who are indifferent to the NFL are like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, of course I watch the Super Bowl every year. I'm rooting for the Chiefs because of the Taylor Swift effect. So there's a lot of people pulling for it. I just don't think it's the NFL fans that are pulling for it.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm pulling for in that one exactly. Like, I love the Lamar Jackson angle of it. I want to see his style of football succeed, even though I've said it can't long term. And I don't know that it can get to a Super Bowl. I also think that the Chiefs team we've seen the last 2 weeks is the Chiefs team of old. Like, all of a sudden the drops have pretty much disappeared. All of a sudden Travis Kelce is making plays all the time. All of a sudden Patrick Mahomes is running a little bit, leading to those third down pickups. So I don't know that the Ravens actually have the firepower to keep up with this Chiefs team. If it's not Lamar Jackson running for 150 yards and scoring 3 touchdowns on the ground, I feel like that's the only way the Ravens win this game.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way of like, depending on however you want to spin the storyline is where I jump in on this, because the Lamar Jackson storyline is pretty cool, pretty fun to jump onto, especially when you think of the beginning of this year. He was just trying to get paid. Yeah. I mean, I was just trying to get paid, and now here he is in the Super Bowl. But then on the other hand, the Chiefs, where you go the whole season long, you went, it's not the Chiefs of old. And then somehow they're that good. They pull it all together. Somehow Patrick Mahomes wills this team to win, and here they are again. So I mean, it's fun either way for me on that side.
Yeah, well, and what's crazy about this matchup, and I think it's sort of underplayed as we head into this conference championship weekend, is the Chiefs are reigning Super Bowl champs, and they're underdogs on the road in this game. I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs, we just talked about it. They beat those 2 teams that we mentioned in the Super Bowl, and we won't name them again because we already have. No, I'm kidding. It's the Niners and the Eagles. They've been to the Super Bowl 3 times with Patrick Mahomes. They've only been to conference championships since he's taken over at quarterback, and we're dogging them in this game. Now, I get it. Every season is its own season, and the 2023 season did not go the way the Chiefs had hoped. I think they were very underwhelming offensively, and I think that's rare for them considering all of the talent that they've had on offense throughout the years, and especially Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. But you look at this defense, like, this is a real deal defense. They get after quarterbacks. They've done a nice job all season long keeping the Chiefs competitive. I mean, are we underrating the potency of Kansas City on that side of the ball against Lamar Jackson?
I'm really glad you bring up the betting line, because it is 3.5 points right now. Patrick Mahomes in his career as an underdog, out of the last 109 games he's played, which he's only played 112, the first 3 games he was a dog in, only 101 times since those first 3 games. So 101 out of 109 games, he's been favored to win. And in the games that he's been favored to lose, he's 9-1-1 straight up.
Yeah.
So money line, Patrick Mahomes has won 9 times out of 11 when he's a dog.
You look at that game and you think like, well, certainly whoever has the ball last is going to most likely be the winner of that game. Feels like it's going to be a close game one way or the other. The other game, that's where there's some blowout potential.
7.5 point spread in the NFC Championship. It was 6.5 all week. It switched over to 7.5 yesterday. I listened to some betting podcast yesterday that said they think it actually might bump up another point.
Wow.
It's because the public money, they've just been hammering the 49ers.
Yep.
Wow. I mean, that would be a massive spread. It is right now for the NFC Championship game, 7.5 points. By the way, didn't that AFC Championship game, didn't it start out at 2.5?
I don't know where the line was set at originally.
So early bettors I know hammered the Chiefs. It may have been straight at 3 because the podcast
Oh.
I was listening to yesterday said like the Monday, Tuesday bettors, which are the Sharks, which are the people who are putting down big money, they were hammering the Chiefs. And then as it's moved along, it's going deeper. So it's at 3.5 now. They said it might end up at 4 before the game.
Well, Niners, Lions. I mean, look, we've talked about it here. That Lions defense, not great. And that Niners offense, pretty good. So they can put up a lot of points, which, I mean, that's why the spread is this way. It just seems crazy that it's an NFC Championship game. And they're like, yeah, one team is going to just mop the floor with the other.
So as
Yeah.
the Niners honk that you guys claim that I am, I've never said that.
Flame?
This spread makes me wildly uncomfortable. Like I would not feel comfortable putting money on the 49ers minus 7.5 in this game, even though I was willing to stake a crazy bet with TD on it, and he refuses to.
Okay, hold on. I refuse to because you want to leave this in the hands of the listeners in TikTok.
You
so
said
whatever you're like, no, this is what it's gonna be. Whatever the top comment is on our TikTok page, that's what the punishment will be. So as we look up some of these videos, some of the ones that have happened, they're like, well, you got to fly to Thailand and murder someone.
no, you
And
got to
then-
fly to Thailand and become a UFC champion.
That's all.
Oh. Well, I could do that, I guess.
Yeah. Should be super simple,
Yeah.
I would
Just saying,
say.
you're soft.
Yes. Yeah. Also, I don't really believe that the Lions can win. That's the other problem I'm having.
Listen, I'm in favor of this. If we want to send TD to Thailand or learn
TD to Thailand does sound like a pretty good title.
learn Muay Thai or fight in the UFC, I am down for all of it. So TD, you are super soft, and I wish you would take this bet.
Like the video is edited. All I got to do is hit post, and
Yeah.
you just won't let me post
and
it.
he just won't let you.
Yeah.
And it just
Well,
won't let
you're
you.
also the guy who walked in here and went, "You're going to eat this chip today." And I said, "That may kill me. And you'll be fine." I
And-
was the one who was dry heaving in here.
Where are you now?
Did you die?
He's very much alive.
Who is the only one that ended up puking on this show?
Yeah. Come on.
How great was that day? If we think back on the
It was
history of
not
Big
great.
Rich,
No,
TD,
no,
and Fletch,
there was like
Yeah.
a 2-day stretch that was not great.
Yeah, that's where I'll jump in. I'll say that wasn't a great day, not even by, not by anyone's standards. But I will say this: we're still dear friends, and that counts for something. All right. Also, coming up in just a little bit here, we're gonna be drinking something that I found at a dollar store yesterday.
I like that.
I had no idea that they made this, but apparently Hostess, the same company that makes Twinkies, also makes an artificially flavored iced latte. Okay, so for anybody who's watching on the YouTube stream, I'm holding up this can. Now, it's the same size can as like a Red Bull or one of those Starbucks espresso double shots that you can buy from like a 7-Eleven convenience store. But instead of having Red Bull or any of that other stuff, it has iced latte. It's a coffee drink flavored with Twinkies.
God, I'm in.
Well, so I'm going to hand these out.
Oh, okay.
when you sent the picture yesterday,
Yep.
Rich, I honestly thought this was one of the like, is it cake things?
Oh, yeah.
Because if you look at the can, it doesn't look like there would be liquid inside it. It looks like you could cut it open and eat it.
No, truly.
Ooh.
When I saw it on the shelf, I had to do a double take. Like I'm looking at it, I'm like, there is no way that they made a Twinkie drink. And then I was like, no, they absolutely made a Twinkie drink. So yeah, we're gonna be partaking in that. Last word on the Lions 49ers. Here's what I'll say. The blowout potential obviously is on the Niners side. They open as 7-point favorites, by the way. It's bumped up a half point. Could I see that line moving more? Yeah, because frankly, I could see them winning by more than a touchdown.
Mhm.
Now, the other side of that coin is the Lions are that great underdog story for the past 3 seasons now. They have defied odds doing what they've done. Dan Campbell has done an incredible job motivating this group, who I don't feel overall in totality is more talented than the 49ers. But that talent doesn't always win. that's not always how these games are based. Like sometimes the ball bounces your way and emotionally you can get the edge on a better team.
If there's one team of destiny here in the last remaining 4 teams, it is the Detroit Lions. And when you look at the head coaching matchup, they could not be more polar opposite in how they motivate their teams. Like Dan Campbell is so out there and loud spoken, crying in the locker room after wins because of how much I effing love you guys. Kyle Shanahan is very much boring when he talks to the media, when he talks to the team. I don't know which is the better coaching style. I can't wait to see all the promo hype videos of Dan Campbell before the game and his pregame speech. I can wait to see Kyle Shanahan's pregame speech. It's probably going to be like, hey, let's go.
Well, Dan Campbell, in my eyes, is doing a lot more with a lot less.
For sure.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Jared Goff, when you compare him to Brock Purdy, I mean, he can't even hold Brock Purdy's jockstrap. I mean, it's like
why you use those two names in the same sentence.
I wasn't even going to bring that up.
No, I'm just saying.
You did that.
How could we even compare the two?
Whose turn is it?
Who knows?
Okay. Just wait for the name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent.
Well, we were talking about the matchup, so we all know the Ravens and the Chiefs. That game is going to be at noon on Sunday, and then at 3:30, the Niners hosting the Lions. But also in the NFL, Atlanta Falcons, they hired their next head coach, and it is not Bill Belichick. It is Raheem Morris, the former defensive coordinator of the Rams. He also had some head coach experience with, I believe, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers a while back. Speaking of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, their offensive coordinator, Dave Canales, is going to be the next head coach of the Carolina Panthers, and he has a mess to clean up, man. I hope he got some guaranteed money in that deal. When you look at the 2 jobs that remain, it's the Seattle Seahawks and the Washington Commanders. Bill Belichick also still available. Don't know if you guys saw it last night, but there was a college hoop standalone game. It was number 9 in the country, Arizona, taking on Oregon State. May have been the game of the year. My God, as Oregon State hits a 3-pointer at the buzzer to win it. That is the 4th top 25 ranked team and the 3rd top 10 ranked team in the last 2 days to fall to an unranked opponent. That's helping the Aztecs out, who have a bye week. And after cut day in the Farmers Insurance Open, Stefan Jaeger in the lead. He is 12 under heading into the 3rd round of play, and that rough is rough.
Speaking of, how have we never done a Jaeger bomb here?
It's a great
Oh,
point.
I love Jaeger bombs.
Same.
Yeah, Jaeger bombs are happening somewhere in the near future, but today it's all about Twinkie flavored iced lattes.
Doing that now or next?
Oh no!
Oh, right now.
Right now.
It's on the rundown. You can't ever change the rundown.
No, we would never.
Yeah.
We would never do that.
Oh, it's kind of. It sounded very Cures.
Flaccid.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna. So Tony Kanja, owner of Keg and Bottle, he really wants to try this. So I'm just gonna pour mine into my mouth.
I'm gonna tell you right now. It's got a cream soda nose.
It does.
Okay.
Dude, yeah. So again, dollar store Hostess Twinkie iced latte is what we're going to try. We're gonna try it.
All right.
Do you want to film this on phones?
We could do that.
Yeah. I mean, do we want to do that?
And then we could. Hang on.
It's a lot of setup here.
No.
Yeah.
All we need to do is open up a camera, flip it around, easy peasy.
Yep. No
Everybody
problem.
can wait.
No problem.
Because
everybody loves to wait.
I don't know if these are available anywhere. Like I've never seen these before.
Where did you find them?
I found them at a dollar store.
Yeah, once they get to the dollar store, like that's the end. Like, it's over. It's over at that point.
That means it already had its Vaughn's run. It already had its Albertsons run, and now it's dying.
And it didn't run, so it just ended up at the dollar store.
All right, 3, 2, 1, clap. Wait, 3, 2, 1. Travis didn't do it. 3, 2, 1.
Wow.
Sorry. First time I was holding the latte. Okay, I was almost dropped it.
Okay, here
Let's
we
do
go.
it. Okay.
Hostess Twinkie iced latte.
Yeah.
On the count of 3, you boys ready? 1, 2, 3.
I mean,
It tastes like cereal.
yeah, I mean, it's
Dude.
pretty good. What?
I don't taste coffee
These
at
are
all.
only $1.
How did these end up at the dollar store?
What is going on? These are delicious.
I would pay a lot more than $1.
Yeah, no kidding.
What is the cereal that this tastes like? It is.
any cereal?
It's the milk at the bottom of the
yes,
cereal.
it's cereal milk.
Honey Grams.
I think you're right.
Oh wait,
Honey Grams. Dude, the Twinkie flavored iced latte is my new favorite morning drink.
this is actually delicious. Wow.
It's a winner, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, no doubt. Wow. Yeah. Okay, no problem. Yeah, thank you, dollar store. Sign me up.
Yeah, sorry. I'm not sorry. That was amazing. Okay. Didn't expect that.
I didn't either.
Completely thought that was going to be one of those things, not unlike the spicy chip challenge where somebody does a spit take. Well, enjoy the great iced latte. That worked well.
What if you just put a little Bailey's on a bar cart?
Dark rum back in our office. I mean, I'm not.
That would also work.
I'm not gonna turn that down. I mean,
everything's coming together here.
Okay, listen, tons to get to here today on a Bar Cart Friday. If you missed it when we started the show, we are loaded up today. Matt Friend, funny comedian, he's going to be in the 8 o'clock hour. Jared Smith, our betting analyst, he's going to be joining us in the 7:30 segment, as he always does. Get you set. Okay,
Bush
tickets available. Okay, before we get to all that, though, we got to get to this. So an NFL analyst went in on the Niners. If they don't win, and I mean a Super Bowl, if they don't win the big game this year, the biggest change they need to make, that's next.
If the Niners don't go to the Super Bowl and win, what needs to change immediately? We'll talk about it next.
This update is presented by Anderson Plumbing, Heating and Air. Starting off in the NFL Conference Championship weekend gets going on at noon on Sunday. The Baltimore Ravens hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. Ravens 3.5-point favorites at home. Then at 3:30, the San Francisco 49ers, they host the Detroit Lions. Niners 7.5-point favorites in that one. Sticking with the NFL, Atlanta Falcons hiring former Rams defensive coordinator Raheem Morris to be their next head coach. Panthers hired Tampa offensive coordinator Dave Canales to be their next head coach. 2 head coaching jobs remain: Seattle Seahawks and Washington Commanders. After cut day at the Farmers Insurance Open, Stephan Jaeger in the lead. He is 12 under heading into the 3rd round of play. Brought to you by Anderson Plumbing, Heating and Air. Attention San Diego, flash sale at Anderson Plumbing, Heating and Air. Book today and save 20% off any repair. Not good with any other offer. Replacement excluded. For more details, visit andersonpha.com.
It's Big Rich, Cheaty, and Fletch. San Diego Sports 760. Everything's going perfectly today. All right.
A lot of moving parts.
A lot of moving parts. Okay. We've had guests move around. We now have a new guest at 7:15. Yep. Big surprise to Fletcher. The chief
Is it
operating.
Eminem?
No, it's better.
Yeah.
The chief operating officer, Joe Dominic from Buddy's Detroit Style Pizza. Yeah.
All right, Joe.
Yep, home of the original Detroit Style Pizza will be joining us at 7:15. Woo! We did it.
Now you may be saying to yourself, "Hey, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, this game between the Niners and Detroit Lions isn't even being played in Detroit." And yeah, we're well aware of that.
Yeah,
and you may
that
be
doesn't
saying,
matter to me.
This is a sports talk radio show host. Why are you interviewing the chief operating officer at Buddy's Pizzeria in Detroit? Well, screw you, pal.
It's because this is the guess I get. Okay, you're welcome.
This is no, I'm very excited. So I'm a huge fan of this Detroit style pizza because of a pizza place in San Diego, of all places.
Wow.
Yeah, there's this Square Pizza Co. place in
Oh,
Pacific
yeah.
Beach. Have you ever been there?
Dude.
Yeah. They have Detroit style. It's solid.
I would like to ask the question, and this is part of the reason why I wanted him on. What makes it Detroit style? And then how come I didn't hear about Detroit style until just a couple of years ago?
Fluffy dough.
Nope. We'll let him do the explaining.
Yeah.
You know what? That's literally the reason why we have him on.
Okay, good.
Because
Good.
we have questions and he has answers.
Right.
So looking forward to that in the 7:00 hour. Also, Bush tickets coming up on this show. But before we get to any of this nonsense, and we have a very busy day today, we take a quick break. We let Greg Jennings take over. So he appeared on television. He appears to have an axe to grind against Brock Purdy, like many people out there. I'm not.
I mean, it's well known he's hated in the league.
I had no idea that Brock Purdy was such a lightning rod until that near miss against the Green Bay Packers in the divisional playoffs. I mean, they still won the game.
The win?
Yeah. I mean,
Idiot.
it was kind of, but anyway, so Brock Purdy gets lambasted by another host. And more importantly, the 49ers were given directives by Greg Jennings in terms of what they should do in their future if they lose this year. Give this a listen. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, oh,
Okay. Okay. So that's where the conversation got a little wild because he throws Justin Fields' name out there and everybody's like, wait just a second.
Okay.
So this was on the Carton Show. I believe it was yesterday. Greg Jennings, who, by the way, had a 10-year career. He was an excellent wide receiver, won a Super Bowl with the Green Bay Packers.
Guest on a radio show.
Look, he knows his stuff.
Oh, no, he doesn't. That was one of the most misinformed takes I've ever heard.
And he's played with Aaron Rodgers. The problem that you have, Fletch, is you're looking at this through the lens of a 49ers fan. The problem that Greg Jennings has, and I don't know if this is true, but he played the majority of his career with the Packers. Packers just lost to the Niners. Maybe that stings a little bit. There's truth on both sides of this story, though. Brock Purdy, I think, has played great football. I think Brock Purdy is better than Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't know if he's better, but I think he is.
The numbers would tell you he is.
I think what I've seen so far from Brock is he is a solid competitor, but I have no idea if he is going to take the 49ers to the next level. I have no idea yet. All I do know is in the NFC Championship game, we didn't really get to see him because he threw 4 footballs and then his elbow was exploded by Hassan Reddick. What I do know is that his first rattle out of the box after, taking time off as the 49ers rested a lot of their starters through the end of the regular season, and they had the bye to start the postseason in the divisional round against the Green Bay Packers outside of the last drive. Brock Purdy looked awful. So we do have a very limited sample size in the postseason where obviously that clutch gene that we talk about with Patrick Mahomes, with Tom Brady, with some of the other elite level quarterbacks, that's where it's decided. Does Brock have it or not? That's yet to be determined.
There's going to be one stat I throw out there that discredits everything Greg Jennings just said. And this is numbered. This
in the
is
last
nothing
2
else.
minutes of that
No,
game.
no, this has nothing to do with anything that's happened this year. This has everything to do with something that happened in 2020. In 2020, the 49ers beat who? The Greg Jennings Green Bay Packers 37-20 in the NFC Championship game. I actually don't know that Greg Jennings was on that team. I think he was. But Jimmy Garoppolo in that game, 6 of 8 for 77 yards.
He wasn't on that team, by the way, but go ahead.
Raheem Mostert in that game, 29 carries for 220 yards. Do you think that there is any chance in hell Brock Purdy throws less than 20 passes against the Lions on Sunday? Jimmy Garoppolo threw 8 passes in the NFC Championship game. So if you're talking about a difference maker, if you're talking about and you're comparing the two quarterbacks to each other, as a 49ers fan who's watched every snap of Jimmy Garoppolo's career as a 49ers quarterback and every snap of Brock Purdy's career as a 49ers quarterback, there is a much different feeling between the two quarterbacks.
Wait. Hang on a second. So you're saying because of a game that was played by Jimmy Garoppolo where he only threw the ball 8 times, it disproves everything that Greg Jennings just said?
Absolutely.
How?
Because Greg Jennings is comparing the two quarterbacks to each other.
And so
he's
you're
saying that they're doing
exactly
the same thing.
The run game was working for the Niners?
This was standard across the Niners winning during this time. Jimmy Garoppolo was not throwing the ball very much. He was not trusted by the 49ers brass. Brock Purdy clearly has the trust. And like Dieter told us a couple of days ago, he probably has too much trust within the 49ers.
Look, I agree with you that I don't think that Brock Purdy is Jimmy Garoppolo. I think he's better than Jimmy Garoppolo. I think, but I also don't know yet. And I'm willing to admit what I don't know. I think anybody talking about Brock Purdy with some bold proclamation about what his future is going to look like is lying because they don't have a crystal ball.
Yeah.
Nobody does.
Yeah.
So whether it's you talking about how great he is or it's Greg Jennings, who may have an axe to grind, I don't know, talking about how bad he is, neither of you are right.
Yeah, and I agree with that because let's be very clear. This is his second year in the NFL.
Right. So how can you speak with that level of confidence knowing that?
It's of course it's jaded, but what I'm saying to the entire media that was taking a big old deucer on him all week, this is year 2. Out of the 2 years, he's gotten the team to an NFC championship, both of them. Why can we not just say, okay, good enough?
No, look, I think Brock Purdy is outplaying his pay grade.
Yeah.
He's doing a fantastic job. Brock Purdy is not electric. Brock Purdy does not fire me up to when I watch him play. I think he does a great job with that team, and I think that they do well. I think Kyle Shanahan does well scheming for him, making sure that he is successful. I think all the parts are working great, but when you start taking the parts away, Colin Cowherd said it the other day, which I know fired you up as well, when he said when you start taking those parts away, Brock Purdy looks average. I think that's accurate. Brock Purdy does look average. He might look a little better than average because he's not out there making mistakes as a young quarterback. It's only his second year in the league. I don't think what Greg Jennings said was that far off. I don't.
You think Justin Fields would be better?
No, I didn't finish that sentence. I do not think Justin Fields is the answer, but I don't buy into Justin Fields either. I'm not sure what the answer is, but I think the answer right now for the Niners is a pretty decent quarterback to go ahead and drive a team that has a ton of firepower. I mean, these wings on this plane are loaded up with bombs and missiles, man, and they can make it run. So if you have a guy that can just press all the right buttons, they're going to blow stuff up. They are going to win. That's where I think Brock Purdy works in this, and he works because the pay grade's right, so they can afford to have all these weapons on all these wings on either side of Brock Purdy. Meanwhile, when you're saying they trust him, maybe they trust him too much, I don't think they do. I think that Kyle Shanahan at the start of the season, when he's going, well, I don't know, it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a fight to see who's going to start. Well, that's why we're bringing Sam Darnold in. And I know you can make we didn't know about his elbow injury. They're talking about Sam Darnold's arm being the best arm they've ever seen. I mean, they're playing this guy up. So it's almost like they were making sure Brock Purdy knew, like, hey, man, your job's not secure. So you got to get out here and play. So why wouldn't you have the confidence in him from last year? If you felt so good about going to the NFC Championship, why wasn't the confidence carried over into this year?
Because we didn't know if his arm was going to work or not. I don't understand the hate for a guy who led the NFL or was top 5 in the NFL in every statistical category for a quarterback.
I don't hate him. I like Brock Purdy. I just don't think he's top 5.
He was statistically, and that's, I don't know what else to say.
Well, I'll put it this way. I know how I feel about Brock Purdy versus what I see in Brock Purdy. What I see is a player who's a great game manager, and a lot of people look at that and say it's a negative. It's not. You have to be a game manager in the NFL. The greatest game manager of all time was Tom Brady. Tom Brady managed football games with his great ability to pass and do what was situationally required of him to win football games. And also he played himself into the most elite passer the game has ever known, the greatest quarterback the game has ever known. Is that what's ahead for Brock? Who knows? But the other side of it is he could also be Jimmy Garoppolo. He could be Dak Prescott. He could be a disappointing postseason quarterback. We don't know yet. He's only played in 3 postseason games now? So it's just too early to make all these bold proclamations about Brock Purdy. The other side of it is, look, I mean, and this is more funny, when you hear people ardently defending or ardently attacking Brock Purdy, I just think about who Brock is. This is a guy who played 5 years at Iowa State, who on the bye week went home and hopped on his combine tractor, and he was wearing his Keystone Light hat, and he was just like, got a hayseed in his mouth, and he's just like, I don't know what all the fuss is about. I mean, really,
it is pretty funny because when you look at him, he's so unassuming.
Oh, dude, yeah. I love how he wears the Kohl's drip.
It's like, how is that guy, the dude that has set the national media on fire this week?
He's awesome.
What's happening?
I earned $30 in Kohl's cash over the weekend.
That's right. Yeah. All right, coming up next, we got to talk about what Dave Roberts said. The Dodgers manager, he was out at Torrey Pines. Darnay Tripp, our friend over at NBC, caught up with him. And you got some thoughts on Mike Shildt that we're going to pass along to you. But before we do, Travis Dale is wearing the ever-living dog out of that denim shirt. My goodness.
What? I mean,
like a rhinestone cowboy.
It's not a denim shirt, although my wife says it's denim and says I'm not allowed to wear it.
You're like going to the nice brothel in Deadwood.
Oh, well, I mean, that's feels like a compliment.
It's like a khaki or a chino fabric, but they made a shirt out of it.
I don't know what it is. All I know is I am wearing the hell out of this thing. And I've been wearing the hell out of it the past few months because back in, when did we start this thing? September? August, somewhere around there. Yeah, in 8 weeks time, I dropped 30 pounds. Rich dropped 35 plus. Fletch is pushing 50 at the moment. But here's the deal that I didn't realize with SD Fat Loss when they came to us and said, hey, we can help you lose weight. We're going to help you lose weight fast. And I'm going, good, because I want this shirt to fit a little better because I'm going to be wearing the hell out of it here in the future. It wasn't just that. It was when we started losing the weight. I didn't really remember how you're supposed to feel. Yeah. Like you start dropping the weight and all of a sudden you go, oh man, I can move around better. Oh, I can sleep better. Oh, it just feels better to be awake during the day. I mean, like, I'm not even kidding. Like, it's not the fight of, I just want to take a nap, the lethargy. It's not there.
I was eating honey buns until I was in a mid-afternoon stupor.
That's accurate.
Yeah.
That's accurate. I mean, that's basically it. But look, SD Fat Loss came in and they're like, we'll show you how to lose weight the correct way, the healthy way. You're going to lose weight fast. You're going to feel better. And then most importantly, you're going to keep that weight off. So as good as you feel at the end of the 8 weeks when you drop these 30 pounds, 20 to 30 pounds is what they say you'll do. And they do. You'll keep that weight off. So you don't want a yo-yo diet. You don't want to lose the weight, gain it all back, and then some. That's what these fad diets do. Stay away from those. Go to sdfatloss.com. Let the coaches and staff there show you how to do this the right way. I promise you, you are going to feel better. You're going to feel better in 2 weeks' time. You're going to feel way better in 8 weeks' time. Woo! Get it on, man. sdfatloss.com. Schedule your free consultation today. You got nothing to lose except those unwanted pounds. sdfatloss.com. It's sdfatloss.com.
Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with everybody out there who is listening today. We appreciate it if you download the free iHeartRadio app. Best way to listen to the show, best way to support the show. Share a link with a friend. Also, if you're not following us on social media, you should. This morning we tried the Hostess Twinkies Ice Latte. If you want to see that, we're going to be posting it later on.
I mean,
oh God,
worth a buck?
I found out that they also make honey bun iced lattes,
Wait, they do?
ding dong iced lattes.
They're all sold at the dollar store?
Apparently, that's where I found the Hostess Twinkies iced latte.
I feel
had
like you
no
should have
idea.
just gotten one of each.
I didn't see him there. I obviously
Oh.
got what I found.
What?
Yeah,
After doing research.
literally, the research was, my kid asked for gum at the register. I'm like, no. And then I looked at where he was looking, and I was like, although these 3 Twinkie iced lattes that somebody clearly ditched because they're like, what was I thinking? Those look good.
We did it.
All right. Coming up in the 7 o'clock hour, we're going to be joined by Buddy's Pizzeria. Okay. Out in Detroit. CEO Joe Dominic is going to be joining us on the phone. So Detroit, San Francisco, big game.
Yeah,
we
right.
want to talk pizza
That's right.
with you. Also, Jared Smith, our lead NFL betting analyst, is going to be joining the show. So we got plenty of football coming up, plenty of tailgate talk coming up. But before we do that, we should talk a little bit of baseball, specifically at the golf course. I know that doesn't make sense. It will in a second. Torrey Pines, Darnay Tripp was out there, our buddy from NBC. He's covering the golf tournament. And who does he run into? Dave Roberts, who spends his offseason in San Diego because he's a San Diegan. He's also the manager of the Dodgers, who are also in the same division as the Padres.
That feels yucky, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Like he lives here.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he pays his taxes here, so that helps a little
It
bit.
helps a little.
Yeah.
And by the way, he's paid handsomely.
Yeah.
He is.
Or did he defer it for 10 years in case he wants to move?
Yeah, that's right. Got to get Congress involved now.
But it's like we still have potholes, so how much of a difference is it really making?
Yeah.
Oh,
In
well-
fact, I want to see DR. I want to see the doc on the roads in PB filling potholes tomorrow. You hear me, Doc? All right. Well, he had a lot to say specifically about Mike Schilt. I thought this was great. Here's Doc Roberts talking about the Padres' new skipper. Yeah.
You
So
hear that little knife he jabbed in there
Yeah.
real quick?
Mhm.
You lose Soto, but you know.
things are still cool. You got Bogues, you got Tatis, Machado. It's cool.
It's so
Yeah.
funny. You
I
hear
mean, do they have any
different,
pictures at all? I haven't heard.
you hear different people say the same things, but some people piss you off a little bit more than others, you know, because everything you said is right. And I thought he was actually very complimentary of the Padres there, but just the fact that it's coming from Dave Roberts and goes, oh, you had to throw that thing in there about Soto, huh?
Well, look, and it is a fair assessment. Like when you're looking at talent gain, talent loss this offseason, it does feel like the Padres are less talented in their lineup going into this season than they were last season. And that's fair. Here's the thing that Dave Roberts does know, though, is he's got a formidable challenge as soon as this team learns how to play like a team at all. That's been the saving grace for Doc because he's got his team playing like a team. They do all the little things right. They're winners. There's a good culture in LA. They replace aging veterans who they want to trade away with young upstart players from their farm system. The Padres haven't figured that out yet. So there are things, though. You look down the I-5 at San Diego if you're the Dodgers manager and you say, uh-oh, we got some problems. And there's no question about it. He's got a ton of respect for Mike Schilt. I don't know. It doesn't warm the cockles of my heart that he can speak on high about the Padres still.
know.
Though.
Mhm.
Like we're still not even close to even. With
It's like
this.
he's on the cliffs of Torrey Pines, the golf course, looking down at the beach.
Yeah.
I just saw a Lions fan that got a Super Bowl champion tattoo before the season.
Oh.
Okay,
Sorry, bro.
and now they're here. But then I thought, well, wait a minute, hold on. If we do this little wager, Fletch, would you be willing to get a Niner Super Bowl champion tattoo after the NFC Championship game? Are you that confident?
Would you be willing to get a Detroit Lions Super Bowl tattoo?
Mine's whatever TikTok tells me to do.
He's like, remember Muay Thai?
Yeah,
Remember?
yeah, remember that?
All I have to do is move to Thailand and be a UFC champion. By the way,
I do kind of want a tattoo. Probably not that tattoo.
well,
Wait,
I
what-
want you to consider
What
it
do
though.
what do you want? Like a lower back tattoo?
I don't. Kendall wants to do
Maybe something tribal.
Well, yeah, something tribal rather than lower back.
In fact, I just want you to have like writing that says something tribal on your lower back.
I was actually thinking I could get a tattoo on the arch of my foot that says "I love Rich Ornberger."
Speaking of feet,
Wow.
and speaking of
Wow.
arches specifically,
Wow.
if you get that tattoo, I hope when you leave the parlor, you slide your feet right back into a pair of shoes with your Good Feet Store arch supports right in there.
Golly.
You know I will.
Godly. You know what? What if you got like the McDonald's logo on your foot? It'd be
The-
like
the-
double. It'd be like
the-
double.
the
It'd be like
golden
double
arches?
arch
Yeah.
support.
That's a lap.
Yeah, you got to take a lap for that one.
Golly.
You
Well,
son of a-
luckily, it's easy with these arch supports.
He's wearing the strengtheners. Hey, Fletch, are you wearing the relaxers or the strengtheners
Dude,
today?
I strengthen all day. You know that.
Yeah, I'm wearing the strengtheners too. This show, we all went down to the Mission Valley location, the Good Feet Store, and they hooked us up with arch supports. And it really was game changing for all of us. If you have any lower body joint pain and you've been struggling with it for a long time, get yourself down to the Good Feet Store. They got 200 plus locations. So wherever you're listening to my voice, whether you're in Texas, like one of our listeners, Cole, who reached out yesterday, whether you're out in Nashville, Tennessee, like Jared, our buddy who listens to this show, he still listens to us all the way out there on the free iHeartRadio app. Wherever you are in this country, or really around the world, because they're international as well, the Good Feet Store is nearby. Book an appointment, a free consultation, a free test walk, and free fitting, and see if the Good Feet Store arch supports are for you. They're for me. They're for Fletch. They're for TD. Head over to goodfeet.com and check them out for you today.
All right, it's hour 2 on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. This update is presented by Lowe's, and we're going to start off here in the NFL Conference Championship weekend. It begins at noon on Sunday. The Baltimore Ravens hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. Ravens are 3.5-point favorites at home there, and then on Sunday at 3:30, the San Francisco 49ers will be hosting the Detroit Lions. Niners 7.5-point favorites in that one. Sticking with the NFL, the Atlanta Falcons hire former Rams defensive coordinator Raheem Morris to be their next head coach. Panthers hiring Tampa Bay Bucks OC Dave Canales to be their head coach. After cut day in the Farmers Insurance Open, Stephan Jaeger in the lead. He is 12 under heading into the third round. Get the appliances you need right away at Lowe's. Explore the largest assortment of brands you trust in-store or online at the best values, plus take advantage of their everyday financing offers. Lowe's knows home improvement, subject to credit approval.
Yeah! Woo! Happy Friday to those who celebrate Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you. We are jammed up today. We have so much to do, and as they say, so very little time. Buddy's Detroit Style Pizza. The COO, Joe, is going to jump on the show with us to talk about deep dish Detroit style ahead of this Detroit Lions San Francisco 49ers game.
Yeah, we got a lot of questions.
You're damn
I
right.
do.
Sauce, cheese,
Yeah,
crust.
what's the difference between Detroit style, Chicago style, or I know New York.
Yeah. Everybody knows New York. I mean,
New York
like,
would be
is
like-
there a such thing as San Diego
Right.
style? Is he a pizza connoisseur?
Right,
Has
right,
he
right,
eaten
right.
pizza
Right,
in
right.
every city?
Also, it's the same shape, kind of the same look to me. Have you ever gotten the deep dish at Little Caesars?
Yeah.
I mean, would you consider that Detroit style?
See, what's crazy is, yes, I would say it's probably based off of, it's sort of like how you listen to a cover song. You're like, not
Right,
quite,
right,
not
yeah,
quite,
right, yeah,
but I get it. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure. It's
right.
similar.
yeah.
Also, Jared Smith is going to join us. Countdown to kickoff Saturday, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. He hosts that show alongside myself and Brian Noe. He's also Fox Sports Radio's lead betting analyst. So we get our full scoop on championship weekend from Jared Smith.
And it's a Bar Card Friday.
And it's a Bar Car Friday brought to you by Keg and Bottle. Tony Kanja is going to come in studio. He's going to be delivering us goods and wares from one of his 10 locations around San Diego. So if you're driving around today and you're like, yeah, I need to pick up some stuff because we got folks coming over on Sunday for the NFL games. Yeah, stop at Keg and Bottle. A very convenient place to pick up what you need.
Like Jefferson whiskey.
You're damn right.
Mhm.
Jefferson whiskey is going to be what we're going to be sampling today.
Supposed to be stupid good. I've not tried it yet, but I've heard about it before yesterday when Tony was talking to us about it.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be like top tier in terms of 2024 whiskeys you can buy.
Bring it on.
I'm really excited about that. Okay, so Matt Friend is also going to join us on the show. Hysterical comedian and impressionist. He's going to be at American Comedy Co. This weekend. So he's going to be, we have a very, very,
If you've
very busy morning.
Never heard of Matt Friend. He's probably the best impressionist going right now. I just put up one of his videos on our Twitter account at Big Rich TD Fletch. Go check it out. The dude is freaking hysterical, from everyone from Jeff Goldblum to Donald Trump. He's awesome.
All we're going to do with him, like the entire time he's here, is we're going to ask him to say, like, cut promos for the show.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
Like as Bill Maher, like, okay, listen to Big, we're going to do it all. All right. Raheem Morris, he gets the head coaching gig in Atlanta.
What? Bill Belichick was supposed to get that job.
He had multiple interviews.
Never heard of him.
Wait, which one? Morris or Belichick?
Belichick.
Oh,
Just a joke.
He's pretty good.
What is he? I don't know. Where's he from?
Well, I think originally from Annapolis.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, look, it's a long
Bill
story.
Belichick was born in Nashville, actually.
Was he?
Mhm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Bill Belichick made one really incredible draft pick in his time as the head coach and general manager of the New England Patriots. And you might think it's Tom Brady. Nuh-uh. Rich Ornberger.
So,
Best decision you ever made, Bill.
Didn't thank you in his farewell speech to New England.
Mike Usher,
He's a real dick.
producer Mike Usher. Producer Mike Usher is now weighing in, saying he believes Little Caesars is based in Detroit.
Oh, wait, what? Is he really?
I don't know.
Pause.
I don't know.
Did you even hear what Rich just said?
No, I was
I waited till Ben had a full mouth of Bang energy drink before I hit him with that, but
Came out of my nose.
sorry.
I completely missed it. I was so. Oh
Look.
my God, they are based in Detroit.
Who
Are
cares?
you kidding me right now?
Well, we're gonna chop it up with Joe from
God.
Buddy's Detroit style and see if maybe there's some bad blood
That's
between
what I'm
Buddy's
hoping for.
and Little Caesars.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Get into all of it.
Stop reading everything you see.
What?
He can't help
I
himself.
can't. I'll never change that.
So Raheem Morris
44.
becomes the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. Now he was an interim. I'm pretty sure it was after Dan Quinn was fired. He jumped in the seat, finished out the season before they moved on and hired Arthur Smith. I'm pretty sure that's how it went. Morris obviously went to LA with the Rams. He's had success. So he gets his chance being the head coach there again. Bill Belichick, though, it's kind of interesting that they moved off of Bill Belichick. Why, if you were to speculate, because we have no news, why do you think that was?
I do have a speculation, and this is ultimate conspiracy theory and probably not even close to being true. But I think that Bill Belichick, after 20, how long is he with New England? 22 years?
Yeah, that sounds about
22,
right.
23 years?
Yeah.
He's a really bad interviewer now. He hasn't done an interview since he was like 20 years younger than he is right now.
Dude,
And
that-
so
that's
Just getting back in the dating game.
Yeah.
That's a phenomenal point.
isn't it like he probably sat down and he was uncomfortable? He might have had armpit sweat. Like he
Oh
hasn't
my-
even thought about how to like impress somebody in 23 plus years. Like he just is sat down and he fumbled all over himself.
You know, it's interesting. Like when a married couple, like, a guy who, especially one who's been like sort of taken care of, doesn't have to cook for himself, doesn't have to clean up the
Been
house.
20 plus years, a happy marriage, but then it ends sadly in divorce. And he tries to get back out on the dating game. Can't even talk.
Oh, dude, he doesn't even know like what like he hasn't seen the inside of a gym in 15 years
He's
at
got
least.
no game.
Oh yeah, like so you see these guys sometimes they show up at the gym and they're like looking around like, "This is a pretty cool place. All right, these treadmills look like tank tracks now. This is ridiculous." Anyways, I'm probably just gonna go over here and hang out by the dumbbell rack and just watch the ladies. No, it's true. It does feel like you reemerge after a hibernation, I'm sure, and you have no idea what to make of the situation. So yeah, maybe he's a terrible interviewer.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's part of it. However, I'm gonna guess it came down to money. That's gonna be my thought. I mean, they interviewed, all of a sudden they had to have that second interview, and we went, why 2 interviews? I'm sure it was like, yeah, but Bill, I mean, like, are you stuck on 25 mil a year? Because I mean, we could do 12 and then whatever, some incentives, maybe we can get close to 20. And he said, nope, I want 25. And they went, well, I guess we can't afford it.
Well, Peter King had the report that the front office of the Atlanta Falcons did not want Bill Belichick. And that's because, assuming if you connect the dots together, Bill Belichick would have too much control. Well, maybe the front office people lose a job. Like that was kind of the assumption that Peter King put out in his article. I tend to lean that way when it comes down to it. Like somebody in the front office went to Arthur Blank, and was talking to him about the fact that, hey, Bill Belichick is old, man. We want to be looking to the future with this young team that we have full of offensive weapons who we just drafted. Bill Belichick might not be the guy to get the most out of them because he is going to be focused on making this Bill Belichick's team that's going to win 15 more games so he can get Don Shula's record. Then he's going to split on you. Like that's all he cares about. So maybe the front office was able to sway Arthur Blank away from hiring Belichick and then go in the Raheem Morris direction, who's been well thought of for years. I really like the hire a lot of Raheem Morris, and we'll see how this works for the Falcons.
Did Belichick interview anywhere else besides
Not that we
Atlanta
know of.
and LA, right?
No.
Oh, no, it wasn't.
No,
They
it's
didn't.
just Atlanta as
So-
far as we know.
Only Atlanta. So nobody else even wants to touch the guy?
Or he didn't want to touch anybody else.
That's the tricky thing about this. I'm struggling with that part of it myself. Like when you have somebody who's won as many Super Bowls, not only as a head coach, but an assistant as well, when he was under Bill Parcells in New York with the Giants, it's strange that he can't find a job or can't find a lot of people to interview him for a job. So I do think that it's either A, he's being picky. Like he's not just going to allow any team to interview him because he's only going to go coach certain teams. And maybe it has to do with whatever team's willing to give him the abundant control that New England gave him.
Or the abundant cash that TD is talking
Or
about.
B, yeah, it comes down to money, which I think I'm leaning more towards myself because he obviously is going to be paid through this upcoming season by the Patriots. He still had time left on his deal. I'm sure they worked out a settlement. I'm sure it was a nice big old payday for Bill Belichick.
That money may already be in his bank account.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know. Now, if you guys remember back months ago when this was first even being talked about as could Belichick possibly move on, there was one team that kept popping up over and over again. Do you guys remember who it was?
The Titans.
Washington Commanders.
That's what I said.
That is still an open job in the NFL. So maybe this is all for naught. Maybe it was like the first girl you meet at the dance really is the one you go home with. So it could still be the Washington Commanders.
Well, what makes sense about the Washington Commanders is the fact that the Commanders have this rich heritage, right? They're a part of like the historic past of the NFL. They were one of the original teams. You know, they had the winning years in the 70s. It's like Joe Theismann and the Hogs. You know, I actually played for one of the offensive linemen who was in the Hall of Fame from those teams, Russ Grimm. Like, there is a rich history, and I know that Bill Belichick would love to insert himself into a situation like that if it were right.
And Belichick, I think he only wants to coach somewhere within the 13 colonies, the original 13 colonies.
I do agree.
Yeah,
I do
very-
agree. And DC is the District of Columbia fits right in. No, but the thing is,
Hey, Maryland, wasn't that a colony?
I don't know. Why do you know?
No, not DC.
no, that was later on. I'm pretty sure.
It's the only time to read this text from the 913. TD, you are like the Jim Harbaugh of the show. A little eclectic, a little weird, but successful and cultured. From Pop-Tart eating crust to Reese's Pink Hearts, the listener appreciates you, bro.
Thank you.
Are our national championship
you.
winner, TD.
Thank you, 913. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah, and he also
big way.
only wears khakis.
And he also needs to go on another lap for talking about Bill Belichick and the 13 colonies.
Now I feel I have to look it up.
I do. I want to know what the original 13 were. We're going to get down to that really soon here. But before we do, the last word I'll say on Belichick is wherever he goes, he doesn't want a general manager to be there. I'm pretty sure Washington hired a GM. If I'm
Isn't it
not
the guy
mistaken.
from the Niners?
I'm pretty sure it was a guy from
Yeah.
the Niners. So I don't think that's going to work. I think what's more likely at this point is Belichick sits out this round, kind of like Mike McCarthy did
Mhm.
after he got canned by the Green Bay Packers. And then next year, his name's going to come back up.
And there's the question. What do you want to see Bill Belichick do if he has a year off?
Oh my gosh.
Do you want to
Oh.
see him like do the Sean Payton thing where he works with Fox or one of the networks for a little bit as a studio host?
I want him to go on a Dan Bilzerian tear. I want him to go gamble in Vegas.
That's right.
I want him to fly on PJs around the world. I want him
Yes.
to have lingerie models wherever
He is
he
single.
goes.
Yes.
We know Bill Belichick broke up with his longtime girlfriend.
I want
Water
him.
skiing, snowboarding,
Yes.
Just a sex
strip
crazed
clubs.
Dude,
12
strip-
months.
Making it rain.
cocaine, more cocaine.
Bel Air mansion rentals. I want it all. I want him to take pictures in front of Hummers. I want him to be getting. Never mind. You know what? Just yeah. Yeah. What I got is I got to settle down. Really, let's get all fired up.
Connecticut, Delaware, Georgia, Maryland, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, New York, New Jersey, Virginia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina. Boom.
Shut up.
There it is, the 13 original. In the NFL, we've got a busy Sunday. We got the AFC Championship game, Kansas City Chiefs heading to the Baltimore Ravens. That's going to kick off at noon. On the NFC side, San Francisco 49ers hosting the Detroit Lions, kickoff at 3:30. Locally, Essex Men's Hoop, they have the bye week. So they're, bye weekend, I guess you could say. They're going to return to the floor on the road against 24th ranked Colorado State next Tuesday. They're 16-4 on the season. Also, check this out. LeBron James, first player to be named to 20 All-Star teams last night when he was selected for the Western Conference as part of the NBA's unveiling of the 10 starters. He goes past Kareem Abdul-Jabbar having the most in league history. So congrats to LeBron James. And we just mentioned it. Falcons hired Raheem Morris as their head coach yesterday. No Billy B in Flowery Branch, Georgia. Yeah.
Took a lot for me not to say Bill Belichick also may have a bye week during his time off. You can take that however you want.
I'll tell you what, everybody
It's gonna
likes
party.
everybody likes to experiment after
That's
a big
awesome.
life change, right? People go off to college. They figure themselves out. Okay. Sometimes after a hard divorce, whether it be with a spouse or potentially a team you coach with for 23 years.
Who knows? Who knows what could happen? But I do know he's going to be jamming down pizza.
Oh, there's no question. In fact, maybe he will experiment with some Detroit deep dish. We don't know if Belichick has ever had Detroit deep dish, but I do know this gentleman, Joe, actually, I'm going to ask you to pronounce your last name, but Buddy's Detroit style pizza, COO Joe, is on the line. How do you pronounce your last name, Joe?
Hey, good morning. My name is Joe Dominiak.
Dominiak. Okay. So Joe, we are big fans of pizza on this show. Okay. We are enormous, period. No, I'm kidding. We've lost a lot of weight recently with our friends at stfatloss.com, but we used to be super fat guys. We're reformed fat guys, and we do love pizza. We love all kinds of pizza, but we're a little confused on what exactly makes a Detroit style pizza. And since you work at the most famous pizzeria in Detroit, we figured you could answer that question.
Well, I absolutely can. And by the way, we love people of all shapes and sizes that love their pizza. So
thank you.
Whether you're gaining weight or losing weight, we love it. So what makes Detroit style pizza so unique is our crust. It is a thick, buttery, square crust. It takes us over 4.5 hours to prepare our crust before it comes to you. We double stretch it and we put it in what used to be automotive pans used in the automotive shop. So we have the square rectangle pizzas and a thin buttery crust flavor. Another thing that makes us very unique is we put the sauce on top of all of our toppings, not underneath.
Okay, hold on. There's a lot of questions here I've gotten in my head. So, okay, was it Detroit style pizza originally done? Because you guys are the home of the original Detroit style pizza. Was the original Detroit style pizza done in an automotive pan?
What?
Yes, it was. It was absolutely done that way. The original founders wanted to be creative and unique, and saw those pans and took ones, now absolutely clean ones, not ones that were actually used on the line, but they seasoned them with oil and used those for their crust pizza. Yes, absolutely. We started in the automotive industry with pizza.
This is all very cool, and Detroit style, the automotive pan, all that's very cool. I am curious, Joe. There's a game coming up on Sunday. I don't know if you've heard about it. It's some team out of Detroit facing off with the San Francisco 49ers. I'm wondering if how impactful it would be if we were on this show to be able to get a Detroit-style pizza owner to become a fan of the San Francisco 49ers just for this weekend, so that we can really stick it to the Detroit.
Ouch. Well, I think that would be very difficult at this time because everyone around here is go Lions and go University of Michigan. So we're proud of Detroit. We're loving Detroit, and we're waiting to see Detroit make some more history here.
Yeah, we're very sorry for our co-host here. He is delusional. He is a 49ers fan to his core. He is literally, banging the drum for them all week long after Brock Purdy. You know, he went out there and he really tried hard. That's what we could say about Brock Purdy last week. No, I know. And you know what? And he seems like he's a super nice guy.
Yeah.
But he tried real hard and he's super nice.
High fives all around.
Yeah, and a lot of his teammates said really nice things about him. Jared Goff, on the other hand, he's been on fire. Dan Campbell has completely revived this Lions football team. You look at this team, and I know, look, you're a pizza man, but I'm sure you're a Lions fan and aware of what's happened there. What has happened to the city, though, rallying around this team, rallying around Dan Campbell, and what Jared Goff has done for this team since he's taken over as quarterback?
Well, I'll tell you what, the spirit of grit and blue collarness and driving for everything you get, staying in there, being reckless at times when other people are thinking you're going to do one thing, and continue to work your game plan no matter what people think about it. This city is on fire. It is just excitement everywhere. The fans are loving it. You know, we have an opportunity to bring not only the national championship, but also the Super Bowl to the greater Detroit area, and everybody is extremely excited. And unfortunately, the 49ers are going to be a roadblock in the way, but all the championships are coming here to Detroit.
Joe, why the sauce on top? What made you guys think of that?
The sauce on top was done because we wanted it. We wanted a flavor in every bite, and by putting the sauce on the top, it allowed it to melt in with the cheese and kind of spread across the entire pizza, and also gave it a nice, beautiful, rich red color on the top as you were eating the pizza. So it was for your eyes and also for your taste buds to feast.
Yeah.
And we also didn't want the hot sauce when you put the sauce right on our crust. We use a very live dough, and then by putting the sauce directly on top, it had a chance to retard the growth of the crust, and we wanted it to proof and poof up and get crisp. So by putting the sauce, it protected our dough, which is the most important part of ours, along with the Wisconsin brick cheese, and then the sauce just brings that color out.
Yeah. This
Oh my goodness.
we just looked it up. Driving directions suggest that you're about 3,700 miles from us. So Joe, we'll see you later this evening. We appreciate your time. And go Lions for some in the studio.
Yeah,
For some.
No.
Hey, our pizzas are grocery stores, and we got them over GoBelly. So if you're dying for one, we can get one to you, no problem.
What?
Dude.
Okay, hold on.
1,000. We'll do a taste test on the show.
Yeah, we got an oven in studio.
That they're mad at us for bringing in here,
Yeah.
but that's fine.
They're like, oh, it's a fire hazard. And we're like, I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Well, and also, where can our listeners go to purchase one of these things?
You can go to GoBelly.com to pick up your pizzas online, or you can go to your local grocery store and look for us in your freezer.
Unreal. Joe Dominiak, COO, Buddy's Detroit Style Pizza, the original, the OG Detroit Style, the deep, the thick, buttery, double stretch dough, which, by the way, are all adjectives that people describe me with.
Yep.
Joe, this was an awesome chat. We appreciate you doing it.
All right, and you guys have my contact information. Send me yours, and pizzas are on the way. And enjoy. Go Lions!
There you go.
Go Lions,
Thank you,
indeed.
Joe. We appreciate it. Pizzas inbound, boys. Woo! Life is good.
Yeah. We know what we should do? We should tell Jared Smith about it.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
And you know what? Also, while we're eating pizza, we're also gonna balance it with a healthy lifestyle.
You're gonna portion it right?
I'm only-
it's gonna have the right amount.
I'm only gonna eat 20%.
Okay.
I'm
That's
only
right.
gonna eat 20%.
Okay.
But look, we do have Jared Smith coming up. Countdown to kickoff, Fox Sports Radio. Our lead betting analyst joins us. Coming up next, get you set for conference championship weekend.
Man, oh man, you may be out there looking for a new car, and you may be thinking, I don't know what I should get. I mean, I want a truck, but do I really want a truck? I'm gonna tell you right now, you want a truck. You do. You want a truck, and you want a GMC truck, and you want to go to North County Cadillac GMC to get that GMC truck, because not only are you going to get the best deal there, but you're going to find the exact truck you're looking for. They have the inventory. I was just there earlier last week. Man, oh man, they were loaded up, and every single one of these things. Go down there and just sit in one. Just go sit in one. Just sit in one. And I'm telling you, you're going to be sold. The technology in the truck, how comfortable it is, what a great ride it is. It can be a grocery getter for you. It can be a workhorse, whatever you want. And it's a brand new year, so you're going to get even better savings at North County Cadillac GMC. They're offering incredible deals to help you get your new year started right. So if you're looking for a truck that can handle everything, you won't find a better deal on a truck as powerful and as versatile as the GMC Sierra 1500 than at North County Cadillac GMC. So stop on by. Tell the GM there, Jamie, that Travis sent you. Just walk on in and say, hey, I'm looking for Jamie. Travis told me to talk to him, and he's going to take care of you. He's going to make sure you get the best deal possible on your new truck. You're not going to be disappointed. There is a reason why North County Cadillac GMC was voted San Diego's best domestic auto dealer in the San Diego Union Tribune Readers Poll. Go find out why. Stop by North County Cadillac GMC in the heart of the Escondido Auto Mall to test drive the GMC Sierra 1500 today. North County Cadillac GMC, exceeding your expectations every time.
This update is presented by the Jim Buttrell Real Estate Team. We'll begin in the NFL. Conference Championship weekend is here. It starts at noon on Sunday. The Baltimore Ravens hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. Ravens 3.5-point favorites at home. Then 3:30 on Sunday, the San Francisco 49ers will host the Detroit Lions. Niners 7.5-point favorites in that one. Sticking with the NFL, Atlanta Falcons, they hire Raheem Morris to be their next head coach. Panthers hire Dave Canales to be their next head coach. 2 head coaching jobs remain. Seattle Seahawks, Washington Commanders are still open. Bill Belichick still available. College hoops, Aztecs get the weekend off, but teams in the top 25 are helping them out a little bit. We might have had the game of the year last night as Arizona falls to Oregon State late. Keyshawn Johnson, former Aztec, he had a huge game with 18 points, but Arizona loses on a last-second buzzer beater. Oregon State three-pointer, incredible basketball game. And after cut day in the Farmers Insurance Open, Stefan Jaeger in the lead, 12 under, heading into the third round. Would you like to know what your home would sell for today? Get a simple text message with your home's value by texting your address to 855-600-6000. You'll get no phone call, just a text. Jim Buttrell has the buyers. Simply text your address to 855-600-6000.
Woo! It is a Bar Card Friday. It's brought to you by Keg and Bottle. 10 locations all throughout San Diego County. We got Jefferson Whiskey coming in today. Tony Conja from Keg and Bottle will be joining us. Producer Shelly going to be our celebrity bartender today. She's already setting up in here, but also we have a pair of tickets to go see Bush at the Cal Coast Credit Union Amphitheater Friday, September 13th. LiveNation.com for tickets and info, or just keep listening for your chance to win because it is coming up shortly here on Big Rich, CD, and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, so we have Jared? Is he up? Is he on? You didn't call him?
He's dialing right now.
I was about to give him like the warm welcome, and then I looked up at the phone line.
I was talking with Tony Conja. I'll call him right now.
There's been a multitude of things that have happened today on the show.
It's okay. Everybody is trying their best. Jared Smith is also trying his best to make you some money. He hosts Countdown to Kickoff, Fox Sports Radio, Saturdays, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. every single Saturday morning with myself and Brian Noe. Also, he's Fox Sports Radio's lead betting analyst. So if you have questions about who you should take this weekend, Jared has answers. So we have him on every single week, and we're looking at the lines. Did we see any movement here?
Well, let's see. I'm trying to see what Vegas has. Which one's Vegas? Well, Bet365 is now +4 on the Chiefs here. I mean, I don't know if there's movement in
BetMGM is plus
BetMGM.
4.5.
Yeah, 4.5. Yeah. Wow.
Okay. All right.
Crazy.
So Chiefs right now 4.5 point underdogs.
3.5.
Excuse me, 3.5 points. Yeah,
3.5.
3.5 point underdogs. You got the 49ers 7.5 point favorites against the Detroit Lions. Jared, when we start looking at spreads and we start looking at totals and we're this close to the game, I mean, is there value left, or has all of it been sucked up by sharps who've come in and moved the line?
Yeah, I think especially at this stage of the year, guys, right? Like the lines drop on Sunday, and during the regular season, you'll get look ahead lines. So we would, like, say for instance, this was like week 14. We would already have the week 15 lines out and we can bet them. But because that doesn't exist anymore, we don't know what the matchups are until, we reach game day. We only get a week of the lines being up, but at this stage of the year, they're pretty well set with where we think these teams are. For example, with the Ravens Chiefs game, we did see Ravens -3 very, very briefly. It was an expensive 3, but it did exist in the market very early, and it got bought up very quickly. And now actually we are kind of trending towards 4, even 4.5. I don't know if we'll get to 4.5, but the Mark Andrews news that just dropped into the market might get us to the full 4, which is kind of where we've been trending all week. But I could still see, when the limits expand, because another thing about the betting markets that people don't understand is early in the week, the limits are very low. So you can bet the line at a more advantageous price, but you can't bet it for as much money. Well, on Fridays and then usually the day before the game, Saturdays, the limits expand. So then you can bet like $100,000 on the game. And that's when some of the bigger bets start to come into the market. And then you might see a little bit more movement in one direction or the other. But for the most part, when we get to Friday, it's pretty much set.
Jared, this Lions-Niners game, a 7.5 point spread now, or 7.5, I guess, depending on where you're looking. But is this a trap at all? I mean, I often don't see a championship game where there's this big of a spread. Should I be putting my money on one of these teams, or do I stay away from this? What should I do?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you look at the Niners, right, like they've been the best team in the NFC all season. And they maybe have had a few moments lately where you could question the defense. But overall, they're still the best team in the NFC. And I think they're being priced as such. I think when you look at this Lions team, there is a path for the Lions to win, and it's run the football, right? We've seen the Niners defense have some problems against the run. And it's Jared Goff, making play action off of it. And I think that's the recipe for the Lions in this game. I do think we're probably overreacting to what we saw last week from Brock Purdy. I'm hearing a lot of, takes this week that the Niners might not trust him and Shanahan doesn't trust him and he didn't play well last week. Last week was like the perfect storm of like bad luck, right? Deebo Samuel, who they literally based the entire game plan on, gets hurt in the first quarter. The ball is completely wet. It's raining. Brock Purdy can't even grip it during the snap. He's like wiping his hand off. And then, oh, by the way, the Niners, who are the home team, don't wear the right cleats in the first half because of the rain. Like, I mean, those are just like a comedy of unforeseen things that Kyle Shanahan could not plan for. Now this week, obviously, Debo is not going to be 100%, but he should be back, and the Niners know he's not 100%, so they're building a game plan around him not being 100%. The weather is going to be perfect, 70 degrees, no wind, no rain. And I think Brock Purdy is going to have a really good game against the Bad Lions defense. So I think the Niners offense is probably a little undervalued here in this spot.
I like it.
Yeah.
Jared, you look at the AFC Championship game. Both of these quarterbacks tend to run a lot more when they get into the playoffs. Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. Are you targeting any player props? Like I'm seeing Lamar Jackson for 64.5 rushing yards. I think Patrick Mahomes is like at 22. I'm thinking more on both of those. Do you have any player props you're looking at and want to take advantage of?
Yeah, those are both part of the equation for sure. Anytime we've talked about this, Rich, on the show, anytime a big game, important game for a Mahomes or an Allen or a Jackson, last week with Josh Allen, it was a moneymaker. Their legs become a much bigger factor. You're not worried about, holding it back because, they need to stay healthy. No, this is it. This is the last game of the year. It's life or death, right? So I think their legs become more of a factor. I think with the Ravens, I would probably bet under on all Mark Andrews props because I think he's going to be a decoy. And my guess is it'll be a lot of Isaiah Likely around the goal line, just like it was last week. But this is going to be a running game for the Ravens. The Chiefs defense is susceptible to the run. Willie Gay, who's their best run-stopping linebacker, he would probably be the spy on Lamar Jackson. He got hurt, left the game last week with a neck injury. The free safety for the Chiefs had a concussion, Edwards, last week. I mean, these are all guys that are big in bringing up help into the box to stop the run. And I just think the Ravens are, they're the fresher team, right? They played one meaningful game in 4 weeks. Meanwhile, the Chiefs have had to win week after week after week just to get to this spot. They had to beat the Dolphins in a really weird weather game in Kansas City. And then last week's game against Buffalo, right? They played Sunday. The Ravens played Saturday. So Baltimore gets the extra day. And just a lot of injuries, it was a physical game against the Bills where the Ravens kind of coasted in the second half. Like, I just think the war of attrition with how these teams are physically constructed really favors Baltimore right now in terms of the physicality of what they're going to see on Sunday.
Jared Smith, lead betting analyst, Fox Sports Radio. Okay, we do it every week. You're the guy who's got the best record on this show by far. we pale in comparison.
It's not even close.
It's not even close. So, Jared, what's the best bet of the weekend?
Well, we did Ravens last week, right? And I think we just kind of stick to that theme because I saw a advertisement get placed on the Allegiant Stadium facade yesterday, and it was purple, folks. It was purple. And I ain't saying it's a conspiracy theory. I'm not saying it's scripted. I'm not saying it's rigged, but I am saying this is Lamar Jackson's year. Maybe next year is Mahomes' year. Last year was Mahomes' year. I think this is Lamar Jackson's year, and I think the Ravens are going to the Super Bowl.
Follow him at Jared Lee Smith on Twitter, on Instagram. He is just an expert. You hear how well he dives into all of these games, all these matchups. He's done it all season long for us. We only got 2 more weeks left of the NFL season with Jared, and we appreciate your time as always, buddy. We'll do it. Well, I guess we'll check in with you right before Super Bowl, so we'll do it in 2 weeks.
Yeah, you guys are going to be here. Maybe you come do the show in Vegas for a couple days.
Oh, my
huh?
gosh. Yeah, we'll walk there to do that, buddy. Yeah, we'll see you soon. Thank you, Jared.
Have a good one, guys.
There he goes, Jared Smith. Okay, so coming up next, we have another.
Get serious.
I mean, yeah, I had to clear my voice for this one. We've got some stuff to get into, guys.
It's real. Yeah.
I mean, this is I don't know if we're appreciating what we've seen over the course of these years. Okay. I think we're probably underappreciating what we've seen.
Can we skip this topic?
No, we got to.
No, I think we can.
We got to get to it.
We're talking about Fletch?
Well, I think we really have been underappreciating Ben Fletcher.
Same level.
So this next segment, we really dive in. But before we do that, I want to talk to you guys about Wayne, about Chloe over at sdfatloss.com. Look, when they got a hold of us, I was back up near my playing weight. TD was back up near his playing weight.
So I was the best of my playing weight ever. Yeah.
Fletch. And as a former offensive lineman, like that's not a good thing. Like when you're retired and you're getting back up to your playing weight, it's not like, oh, good, he looks good. No. I did not. Fletch, I mean, we never saw a fatter version.
Yeah, that was the fattest Fletch. Hey, I think. Wait, were you the heaviest
He's
ever?
giving me the finger.
You were close to the heaviest you'd ever been.
Oh yeah, I was like 10 pounds off of being as heavy as I've ever been in my life. So we needed help with our weight. And so we got in touch with sdfatloss.com, Wayne and Chloe, the weight loss coaches over there. And they just gave us the plan and they gave us the guidance and we did some of the work. It really honestly felt like we just turned over all the decision making to them and it really worked. It was super simple, right? You just follow their advice and it's expert advice. They've done this with thousands of other clients and you get yourself back into shape, back into the game. And that's exactly what happened for us. So if you're tired of yo-yo dieting where you get on one of these fad diets or you're taking some off-label prescription drug and you lose a bunch of weight at first and then you gain it all back and you want something that has real results that really stick, that you can stick to, our suggestion to everybody who listens to this show and everybody who you get in touch with who listens to the show, maybe there's somebody in your family who needs to lose a couple lbs, get them in touch with sdfatloss.com. That's Wayne and Chloe at sdfatloss.com. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch on a Bar Cart Friday, brought to you by Keg and Bottle. They have 10 locations around San Diego, and Tony Kanja is holding a stack, and I mean a stack of boxes bursting in through the studio door. He's fired up. He's ready to
Clean
go.
shaven.
Oh, yeah. Holy cow. Yeah. You don't have any facial hair at all.
You guys shaved it off?
Yeah. Look at you. Man, you're a handsome devil. Okay, so in studio with Tony this morning is going to be Trey from Jefferson Whiskey, Jefferson Reserve. We have the old rum cask finish rum ham whiskey. This is like
Rum ham.
it's an award-winning whiskey. We're going to be partaking in a little bit later on. This is exciting, man. How are you doing this morning?
Blessed, baby.
Yeah,
Very blessed.
love
You look
it.
young.
You do.
You know,
Like I'm gonna ID you.
you're gonna have to talk to Lydia. She was like, "Do not shave." I'm like, "No, I gotta shave this off." It's starting to look really old.
You had the stubble. It was somewhere in between stubble and a beard,
Yeah.
right? You know, for a little bit now. You look good though. You look good.
I was doing a number 2.
Yeah.
Today it's completely clean. How do you
Yeah.
like that?
I don't like this at all.
TD is resistant to change. Yeah, he fears change. So we have Tony in studio. We're gonna have Shelly Brown, our guest bartender today from Star 94.1. She's gonna be in studio. We're gonna have Matt Friend as a special guest, comedian, impressionist, TikTok famous. He's gonna be in studio today. We have so many things happening. It's gonna be a very busy day.
Come on.
Yeah, that's cool.
Bottle set in front of me, and I'm just kidding, Tony. You look fantastic. You always look fantastic. Man, oh man.
So we're pumped up for the 8 o'clock hour. But before we get there, anybody who was watching basketball last night, especially the Lakers, they saw LeBron James get announced to his 20th consecutive All-Star game.
Is that good?
I think it's good. I think it's good. So 20 of these. It's just mind-blowing. He is now he has the most All-Star bids of any NBA player ever. He just beat out Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with his 20th. He tied him with 19. Here was LeBron post-game. He was discussing with one of the sideline reporters what this means to him. Oh, there it is.
Exceeded expectations of my career, so it's just humbling. It's very cool to be able to continue to have accomplishments throughout your career, but I've exceeded anything further than what I ever dreamed about that I would be in the NBA. So, and I did that a long time ago. So,
yeah, listen, LeBron, he's been doing this for a long time, and it feels like he's going to do it long enough to get to play with his son, at least play against his son. I mean, I'm assuming he's going to try to square this so he can be on the same team as Bronny Jr.
Yeah.
I will say this though, like, and I know that sounds lame. I get it. But are we underappreciating like how ridiculous what he did? I mean, we're just kind of used to it now. We've been sort of anesthetized to the fact that this guy is unbelievable.
He is unbelievable. I mean, yeah, and he is fantastic, and he does deserve it. But whatever if it's just, I want some more humbleness to him. I want something else there that doesn't just rub me the wrong way with LeBron. And I don't know what I'm missing.
So you guys know how today's like crazy?
Yeah.
We got a lot going on today.
Yeah.
We have potentially the biggest guest we've ever had at 8 o'clock.
Like
Okay.
biggest, like John Fink's coming in.
No, like
Larger than John Fink?
I mean,
from
he's
Coconuts?
huge.
What, 6'10"?
some may describe him as incredible.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait. Well, who is it exactly?
We got Lou Ferrigno in studio at 8 a.m.
What is going
Okay.
on today?
This is so busy day getting
We get him
busier.
from 8 to 8:07.
So guess what? Buckle up, buddy. We got Lou Ferrigno, the Incredible Hulk, joining us coming up next in studio.
Why not?
Okay, it's the weirdest day ever, and I'm pumped, and I can't wait to talk to him. We all will. That's on the other side. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch.
It's hour 3 on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, and the packed third hour just got a little more packed. This update presented by Wendy's. Starting off in the NFL Conference Championship weekend gets going at noon on Sunday. Baltimore Ravens hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. Ravens 3.5-point favorites at home. Then at 3:30 on Sunday, the San Francisco 49ers will host the Detroit Lions. Niners 7.5-point favorites in that one. Sticking with the NFL here, the Atlanta Falcons hiring former Rams defensive coordinator Raheem Morris to be their next head coach. Panthers hired Tampa OC Dave Canales to be their next head coach. 2 head coaching jobs remain: the Seattle Seahawks and Washington Commanders. Bill Belichick still out there in the open. Wendy's breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles lets you choose your perfect duo from your fave 4, like a sausage or egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, or medium hot coffee. Limited time only during breakfast hours. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Single item at a regular price.
It is an honor this morning. It's a Bar Cart Friday brought to you by Keg and Bottle, 10 locations around San Diego. Tony Concha just came in, and we're going to be getting into some Jefferson's Reserve, especially this old rum cask finish Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey.
Yeah, I've got the Twin Oak custom barrel in hand.
Good
here.
Lord. This is going to be a very special morning indeed. We have Trey Zoller waiting to jump into the fray. He is the purveyor, the master distiller of Jefferson's Reserve. But before we get to anything, we have to welcome in an in-studio guest who just happened by our studio window, and we said, yes, of course, get your ass in here. It's Lou Ferrigno.
What are we talking about?
How are you guys?
We're better now meeting you, sir. How are you this morning?
So I guess I woke you guys up, right?
You absolutely did.
Out just in time for us to go to sleep with some Jefferson's Reserve.
That's right. That's right.
You drink that every night?
Well, you know what? This is going to be our first sampling of it. Every Friday we do Bar Cart Friday, where a new distiller, brewer, or winemaker comes in studio and shares what they do with us. And so we're eagerly awaiting that, but we set aside a little time for the Incredible Hulk. I think we have time to chat with you,
right,
my friend.
Right.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yeah. So you're in town here. You're going to be signing an autograph at a San Diego comic book store for the very first time ever.
Yeah, called TC Rockets.
TC Rockets.
From noon to 2 p.m. I'm excited because I've never done a signing in San Diego before.
Noon to 2 p.m. tomorrow at TC Rockets.
TC Rockets.
Very nice, very nice. That's comic book store at 5155 Waring Road here. So right off the 8 freeway at Waring Road, right down the road.
You know what's amazing? When you go to a comic book store, they have so much toys like the Hulk, Superman, Captain America.
Yeah.
If I was a kid, I would probably hire someone, back a truck in, and steal it.
Yeah.
Chase, the owner of TC Rockets, nervously looking on as he mentions stealing all the things from TC Rockets comic book store.
It's fine. I'm a little bit of a self-proclaimed nerd.
Yeah.
I have a lot of comic books, so I'm kind of geeking out, man. Happy you're here. Also, TC Rockets.
Come by. Don't be a stranger.
Oh, don't worry. I will be there. I will not be a stranger. Meanwhile, with Jefferson Reserve also here, we asked if you guys wanted to sip. Lisa, your girlfriend Lisa here in studio. She's like, yeah, thumbs up.
Okay, let's crack one of these.
We should crack one of these open and at least taste it neat. Okay, there we go. We got the Incredible Hulk wanting to taste some Jefferson's Reserve. Let's bring on Trey. Trey, the founder and owner of Jefferson Whiskey as well, joining us here on a Bar Cart Friday, brought to you by Keg and Bottle. 10 locations all throughout San Diego County. Where'd Tony go?
Yeah, Tony's wandering around the building. But Trey, hey, would you mind if the Incredible Hulk Lou Ferrigno enjoys a little bit of your whiskey with us this morning? Is that cool with you?
You know what? I think this might trigger something where Lou Ferrigno turns into the Incredible Hulk this morning.
That's true.
Which would be a lifelong dream of mine come true.
That's right. Trey was saying that this may trigger you to change into the Incredible Hulk. Yeah, well, we will find out. Man, oh man. So
I was just hoping.
Right. We have our celebrity bartender producer Shelly's just going to pour up a little bit of this. Which one do you want to start with, Trey?
Okay, so I think we've got the rum cast finish. Is that what I understand in the Twin Oak?
We
Yeah, we got both of them.
yeah.
Do we have the tropics as well?
Yeah. We got the tropics here. Want the tropics?
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
we'll do the tropics first. We'll taste that one first.
Okay,
so the
well,
bottle's
that
popping.
one's big. I usually save that for last because it's really high proof.
Oh, okay. Well,
But we can jump right into it.
Yeah,
We got
we're doing an opposite land here. We're doing the high proof one first.
Yeah.
So Lou's girlfriend Lisa's like, yes, please, God. I've been at the radio station all morning long.
Yeah, you've got some fans in here, Trey. There's a lot of people are eagerly watching
right.
Shelly Brown pour out the brown stuff. So tell us a little bit about it. How'd you make this juice?
Well, I made it specifically for the Hulk. It's big in flavor, and it doesn't turn you green. However, it'll put a smile on your face. This is actually, I think, my 35th offering of Jefferson's bourbon.
Yeah.
So this is the last one that we put out on the market, and it's kind of a culmination of everything that we've been working on for the last 26 years. So, as I said, I've got 35 different expressions of Jefferson's. All but 2 of them, I do something different than distill it, age it, cut it to proof, and bottle it. With this one, we age it for 5 years in Kentucky. We put it on ships, and we send it out of Savannah, Georgia, down through the Panama Canal, over across the Pacific to Singapore, which is 85 miles north of the equator. So it's a really hot, humid environment. And it ages in that hot, humid environment for 18 months before bringing it back to Kentucky and cutting it down to proof, to 104 proof with that great Kentucky limestone water. So what that does is it brings out a lot of the great kind of sap flavors of the wood. So a lot of fruit flavors, blood orange, cherry pie. You'll see it's a big drink with lots of flavors.
All right. Let's give this a sip because I know the Hulk. He's got to run here. Lou's got more places to go. So it's got a great nose, by the way, Trey.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a lot of those different flavors.
Whoa!
Wow! Yeah. Wow! Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like a dragon now.
Yeah, bro.
Ooh,
man, oh man,
that is some delicious stuff there, Trey.
Lou, you were the original Incredible Hulk. How do you feel about the new guys stepping in? Mark Ruffalo being.
Well, they're all great actors. The fact that I'm not a big fan of the CGI Hulk.
Yeah,
right.
Ruffalo's a wonderful actor, and you take Edward Norton, Eric Bana, but apparently everybody goes back to the series because the series was like authentic, organic.
Yeah.
Well, and truly, again, no offense to anybody who's given it a go since your portrayal, I should say, of the Incredible Hulk, but you put in all the work. You know, you were a Mr. Olympia competitor. You were a bodybuilder. You put in all the work to become the Hulk. Like you were actually that guy. Like you said, it's graphics cards and it's digital imagery that makes those guys the Hulk. You know, so I mean, there is a little bit of that. You know, geez, like these guys are kind of getting away with just being who they are and still getting to be the Hulk.
Remember, we did the TV series. It was a lot of makeshift. I mean, for example, I did 99% of my own stunts.
Oh wow!
Yeah, but today you have blue screen. Like one time I had to do a running scene, and there was a show called The Marriage Show with like a big storm.
Yeah,
I had blue jeans. They had the airplane propeller creating the storm, everything. We filmed like maybe half a day. So I go to the motorhome. The producer comes in and said, "Listen, we have to reshoot it." I said, "Why?" They say you had the wrong color jeans on. Now today they could correct it in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
right.
Oh, because of the continuity. Like earlier, you're wearing one color, and then
they made a mistake. I had instead of having light jeans, I had dark jeans.
How
so
long
they had to reshoot the entire scene, the storm scene, with the other color pair of jeans.
Oh my gosh, that is absolutely. You know what?
Yeah, Lou Ferrigno, man, we appreciate you stopping by. You're going to be at a TC Rockets comic book store, 5155 Waring Road, right off the 8 and Waring Road. That's tomorrow from noon to 2, doing your first ever autograph signing at a comic book store here in San Diego. We know you got to run, man, but we appreciate you being here.
Turnout. I can't wait to see all my San Diego diehard fans.
Love it.
We'll be there. We'll be there.
Mr. Ferrigno, thank you so much. Honestly, a pleasure meeting you. And Lisa, thank you for bringing them by.
Yes.
Nice to meet you as well. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. All right.
Chase, thanks for coming
Right
on
on.
in. TC Rockets, that's where you need to go to tomorrow. That's noon to 2 for the autograph signing with the Incredible Hulk, Lou Ferrigno. Trey, man, you've got some new fans. Lisa
Yeah.
and Lou, they loved it, man.
Yeah, they're trying to steal bottles right now.
Yeah, I love. There's only one Hulk. That's the original, Lou Ferrigno.
That's right. That's right. That's what we say as well. Trey, when you talk about aging these things, you age it for 5 years before you put it on a ship, right?
You got it. You
And
got
then
it.
once it goes on the ship, is it actually aging quicker because the ship is always moving? Is that the process here?
Yeah, that's part of it. So absolutely. As you know, in Kentucky, we wait for the temperature to change. And when it gets hot, it heats up the molecules in the bourbon and pushes the bourbon into the wood. When it gets cold, it contrasts and comes back out. So that happens over seasons. When you put it on a ship and it starts rocking back and forth every couple of seconds, you got constant contact with the wood. So bourbon goes into the barrel colorless, and it picks up the color and the flavor and takes away the astringency of the alcohol the more it goes in and out of the wood. So that's just one part of it. And then when we cross the equator a couple of times when we put it on the ocean, and that extreme heat caramelizes the sugars in the wood. So it makes it kind of viscous and thick and really flavorful, and a lot of caramel comes out. And then as you're on the open water like that, the salt air is able to permeate and get inside the barrel, and it brings a savory taste to it. So
No
you
way.
get the sweet and savory from the caramel and from the salt.
So just the barrel moving around changes the flavor profile than if it was just sitting in a warehouse somewhere.
You got it. Absolutely, it does.
Wow.
It's fascinating. Yeah, it definitely, I was going to say, it has a little bit of like, you know, that salted caramel, dark chocolate vibe. When I sip it, that savory and the sweet, it meshes so well. This is a 100% winner.
Yeah.
This is the Tropics, the Jefferson Reserve. I mean, all of these I'm excited to try, but you know, roaring out the gates here with the highest proof whiskey, it changes nothing. I mean, I'm
Travis is already drunk.
I am ready to rock.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Now, Shelly just handed us another sipper here, or another taster, I should say, and this one has a totally different nose on this. Which one did you pour up here? What?
This one is the rum ham. Is the one that I poured.
Rum ham. It's the rum ham.
There you go.
I got my hands on a rum ham, guys. What the hell is a rum ham? A rum ham is what you do. You take the rum and you put it on your ham.
Trey, are you a big Always Sunny fan? Where did this come from?
Where did this come from? So I was hanging out with a guy named Malcolm Goslings, who owns Goslings Rum. And he's got a really special bottling called his Goslings Old Family Reserve, which ages rum in old bourbon barrels. So it held bourbon for 4 years. And then he put his rum in there for 16 to 20 years. And I was drinking a glass of that Old Family Reserve, and I thought it was fantastic. I loved it. But being a bourbon guy, one glass of rum is enough for me. It gets too sweet. So I poured a glass half full of our Jefferson's Reserve bourbon and half full of his Old Family Reserve rum. And I thought it was delicious. And I wanted to bring out some of those flavors. So I asked him for some of his old barrels. So as soon as he dumps those barrels, as he ages them in Bermuda, he sends them to me in Kentucky. And I put 8-year-old bourbon that we distilled and aged in Kentucky into those 20-year-old barrels. And then I put it in what I call hot boxes, which is nothing more shipping than shipping containers. So if it's 90 degrees in Kentucky, it's 125 degrees in those shipping containers.
Ooh.
And that heat sweats out the rum into the bourbon. And so it sits there for 9 months, and it gives this beautiful, coconut flavor, molasses flavors. It brings a whole new dimension to the bourbon.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's give this a quick sip here.
No
This
doubt.
sounds, I mean, I love the on-ramp, by the way, to each sip we take, because that is such a beautiful description of how it came to be.
Yeah, you got it. It's, You know, what I try to do is put stories in the bottle, and the stories tell you why the bourbon tastes the way that it does.
Oh, that's good.
That
Hey,
is
Trey,
so good.
This is an absolute home run.
I
And
feel like
and
I'm drinking Danny DeVito.
like Fletch just said. Yeah, I mean, we're reliving a lot of our past here, like meeting the Incredible Hulk this morning, rehashing. We spent all morning talking about that episode of Always Sunny. Like, you have the rum ham. I'm going to show it to our streamers on YouTube. You have the rum ham depicted on the back of the bottle. It's awesome.
I could just picture Frank and Mac floating out in the middle of the ocean off the Jersey
On
Shore.
the inflatable.
Getting picked up by a bunch of Guidos and partying with the rum ham all night.
Right
God, I want that to be me.
Hang on here. Hang on.
This is
So
the
this
best
is
day of
on
my
sale
life.
right now. On sale at keganbottle.com. Normally $115 a bottle. It's on sale for $80 right now.
Dude.
This is what you put on the shelf. Yeah, right? I mean,
Don't tell Trey that.
Woo. Oh, yeah. No,
That's
Trey.
amazing.
Full price, definitely.
No big deal. Everything's fine. Nothing to
So-
see here.
That's a very special bottling. We don't often do that in a single barrel form, but K&B has been one of our oldest and first single barrel buyers. I think they started buying single barrels from us back in 2011 or 2012. So we bottled up just a very few of those in single barrels, and K&B picked out one that they really liked and kind of made it their own with that rum ham.
Hey, Tony, he's giving you a lot of credit.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. You're the man.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah,
Tony,
Trey.
we have one of your bartenders, Jay Kennedy, extremely pissed off this morning because he
Yes.
got to miss meeting Lou Ferrigno.
Oh, hey.
So Jay's texting me like crazy.
he was on the group text. Hey, who wants to be the bartender today? And Shelly was like, I'm in.
Done.
Oh,
Oh, no.
done, and done.
Sorry to him.
What?
Yep.
I got to pour that man the tropics.
By the way, we still have Bush tickets that we need to give
Oh my
away.
gosh,
So that's got
You
to
guys
happen.
are like, this is insane. This is the most stacked hour of radio I've ever participated in.
Thank you. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. Also, we have a big announcement we have to make.
We do.
Yeah.
That's right.
And so we've been teasing it here all week long. We've been talking about we got something special coming up here in 2 weeks, 2 weeks from today, on the 9th of February. Boys, we're going to have ourselves a tailgate. Woo! And Tony Concha, where's that tailgate going to be located?
It's a small little place called K&B,
Mm.
Del Cerro.
Yeah, K&B Bistro. We're going to be there from really honestly 5 in the morning all the way until probably 10, I would say.
At night.
At night. Yeah, you're going to have a hard time removing us
Right.
from the parking lot. K&B Bistro, it's right there in Del Cerro, right off the 8 freeway. Just head north on College Avenue, and it's in the same parking lot as Windmill Farms, that big grocery store, if you're familiar with the area. And K&B Bistro not only is an amazing restaurant, it's also home to Keg and Bottle, one of the 10 locations around San Diego, where if you need any of your goods and wares, you can pick them up for your weekend partying. This is going to be February 9th, the Friday before Super Bowl Sunday. We're going to be tailgating with Tony Concha.
That's right.
We're going to be serving a little food.
Yep.
From Sombrero's Mexican food.
We got a bunch of fun prizes to give out. We got some Big Rich TD and Fletch swag that we're going to be handing out as well. So stop on by. I think we're going to kick things off there. We're going to be broadcasting live all morning. We're going to kick things off at 7 a.m. So that's what we're going to tell you to stop on by. That's when
Yep.
the food comes.
And the drinks are going to be people you've recognized from the past. So past Bar Cart Friday. And it's
Guests
gonna-
and friends.
Guests and friends
Mhm.
and drinks and cocktails. And so it's going to be a great time. So everyone show up.
We are super
Yeah,
pumped.
It's going to be awesome. Going to
that-
be awesome.
That is coming up again, February 9th. We're going to be doing our morning show from K&B Bistro. That's in Del Cerro. So definitely come out and join us there. That'll be the first event of 2024 that you can come and hang with us live. Speaking of live in person, we've got a new friend walking into the studio. We've had an
Speaking of
interesting
friend.
Yeah, we've had a really interesting morning. Lou Ferrigno graced us with his presence.
Yeah.
And now we move on to a new friend, Matt Friend.
Hello, everybody. I love being offered alcohol at 8 a.m.
Yeah. Let's
Welcome to the
let's
show.
Get this guy a drink. Let's get them guy a tasty or tasty. Whew. I'm only 2 in, Matt. A tasting of some of this.
I walked right
Jefferson's
into
Reserve.
an AA meeting. This
That's
is
right.
incredible.
That's right. Are you a whiskey fan?
Thank you. Am I a whiskey fan? Depending on the time of day. I'm about to vomit on the air. That is great.
Depending on the time of day, so 8 a.m. is normal.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. Wow, this is amazing.
Yeah, that's
Matt
how we
Friend,
do it.
stand-up comedian, going to be playing shows this weekend.
Yes.
American Comedy Co. You've seen him on TikTok. Everybody's seen you on TikTok. It's unbelievable. Your impersonations.
Thank you.
You're you're my favorite impressionist. The Goldblum is insane.
Thank you. Thank you.
The Mitch McConnell is ridiculous.
Well, I appreciate that.
I mean, the Bill.
In this great country, you see these great fighters and these great warriors, and we have to stay sharp and mentally fit for the country.
Oh gosh,
certainly.
That's a nice way to get out of drinking at 8 a.m.
Yeah, what's going on with that?
This is our work.
Yeah,
Okay, this is what we do.
I forgot you guys have been up for 10 hours straight right now.
It's really
Their eyes are bloodshot. They're racing. This is incredible.
Producer Shelley
it's
mixing
like
us up.
noon for us.
Oh, this is your producer who's acting as the bartender right now.
I actually produced down the hall. My dude's just out today, so they.
My God, this is
decided-
chaotic, and I'm here
It
for
is
it.
madness, dude. Like I said.
It's just typical for us. But she's mixing up a drink using some of this.
At what point do I take
whiskey.
my shirt off? That's the question.
I mean, I just took my shoes
Funny
off.
story.
If you could,
Shelley,
go ahead and pop your top.
Yeah.
That would make everyone more comfortable, Matt. In fact, I'll start the bidding.
Hey, Billy boy.
It's already happening.
It's already
Listen, Jefferson whiskey, mixing up drinks now, or Jefferson
Trey,
whiskey.
you're gonna have to do the
Lord.
same thing remotely, buddy.
Right,
Trey,
right.
yeah. So there's
Right.
drinks being mixed up by producer Shelley using this Jefferson whiskey,
Yeah.
and she's using, I think it's an urn. I think it's the same urn that the pallbearer carried around
Wait a
with the
second.
Undertaker.
I
Yeah.
actually emptied my grandmother's ashes.
Oh,
so-
wow.
and the
Good.
glass might be
Good,
rimmed
good.
So,
Cheers, boys.
There you
Cheers,
go, Matt.
everybody.
All right,
Thank
what
you.
are
Wow.
we drinking right now, Shelley?
I'm
so
just-
this is something that I came up with. I was talking to Trey yesterday about his bourbon, and he was telling me how there's like hints of orange and peach in there. And so I was thinking like, oh, well, let's make something like a sweet tea kind of situation.
Okay.
Mhm.
So this is the Jefferson whiskey bourbon Jefferson bourbon, along with 2 ounces of a peach orange tea that I brewed last night, and then also a peach and brown sugar simple syrup with a little bit of lemon and some orange blossom
My
water.
God, this is so good.
This is incredible.
Yeah, this is so good. This is
This is what the NFL is like.
yeah. This
So
is
similar.
this
Oh my God,
is
that's
what
amazing.
that
Yeah,
is
this is-
absolutely fantastic, Shelly. Trey, man, you need to be here to try one of these. This is one that you just have over and over and over again, sitting by the pool, sitting
Yes,
by the
it
beach.
is.
Well, my inspiration too is the Farmers Open is this weekend, so this is something I'd want to sip on after I've finished a round of golf.
Wow, look at
Yeah.
that sports tie-in,
Yes.
sports adjacent.
So Matt,
Yes.
when you walk into a situation like this, what's your normal wake up time?
Well, you know, I'm a comedian, so
Yeah.
I'm not usually, the booze is about 8 hours before this. But not like, yeah, it's not typical. The alarm clock is not usually, who wants whiskey right now? Let's go crazy. Not
So
really
you're
getting
welcome.
lectured on the violence of the NFL at 8:30 in the morning. But normal wake up call, I don't know, it depends. I'm active, I'm doing a lot of things. I don't know, 8:30 usually.
Yeah. So, and it doesn't normally include whiskey.
Well,
No,
we do
no,
have
no.
to take a commercial
Normally
break.
it's tequila.
I'm
Go ahead.
hoping before we leave, Matt, can Donald J. Trump give a promo for Big Rich TD and Fletch?
Well, I will tell you that Big Rich TV, he might be rich and he might be big, but he is not as big and not as rich as me. And I will tell you that right now. But Fletch is a great guy. We love Fletch. Chevy Chase, great character, great movie. That's an accurate statement. But they're very smart people. They're tough. They both stormed the Capitol. Look like it, certainly. And we love. I'm just joking, but that's. Now I'm getting scared. They're very intense. Now they're getting a little violent. But we're going to pardon them regardless. And they're very smart. We like them a lot. And Brett Favre, what a guy. Thank you very much, China.
Matt Friend, everybody, is going to be at American Comedy Company tonight, tomorrow night, 7:30, 9:30, AmericanComedyCode.com. That's where you go to get tickets. Don't miss it, man. This is going to be an incredible
I
show.
love you guys.
I love you.
And there'll be a lot of booze there, so come on.
Yes, yeah.
Sure.
Pouring up some Jefferson Reserve out there as well. I think. Gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we got to get our barrel picks. We got to do bottom of the barrel, and we got more with Jefferson Reserve on a Bar Card Friday. Brought to you by King and Bottle. Woo!
Oh my God.
Hey, it's Fletch for SDFatLoss.com. Are you tired of the yo-yo diets? Are you thinking that the latest fad medication is for you? Well, don't do that, because most people don't realize that while you might lose weight on those latest fad diets or the prescription medications, it's just from temporarily suppressing your hunger. Look, we're Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. We have a lot of fun. We used to eat a lot of food, and a lot of that food that we were eating was really, really bad for us. And I don't even think we knew it. All of a sudden, all of us were the fattest we've ever been in our entire lives.
Well, I think we may have known it.
Yeah, but we just didn't really realize how
Yeah.
bad it was for us. And then we
Yeah.
met Wade and Chloe over at SDFatLoss.com. Changed our lives, changed them for the better without a doubt, because we learned a lot about food and we learned a lot about how different foods affected our bodies differently. And now all three of us are handsome stallions ready to take on the day, especially TD. Look at that guy.
God, I mean, I feel good.
You
I
look
feel
good.
Yeah, and like Shelly keeps looking over here, going, "Wow,
Got those
man."
eyes for you?
Yeah,
What do you
well,
think?
she's like, "Is that guy 31 pounds lighter?"
Hey, you know, if you
Yeah.
want some lady to get the eyes for you, get on over to SDFatLoss.com and see what you can change in the year 2024, because, man, we are getting some attention that we never got before. And it's not just because of the puppy. It's because I can take my shirt off and be proud of it.
Oh, it's because those puppies.
And that too.
Yeah.
But SDFatLoss.com is the place to go. If you got a bunch of weddings coming up this summer that you want to look a little bit better for, if you got a bunch of graduations coming up for your kids that you want to look a little bit better for, get on over to SDFatLoss.com. Make the change in your life today. It's a free consultation. You just chat with Wayne and Chloe for a little bit, and you got nothing to lose except for
Those unwanted pounds.
bingo. We'll be back with more of this craziness coming up next. This update is presented by Lowe's. We will start off in the NFL. It's conference championship weekend. It starts at noon on Sunday as the Baltimore Ravens host the Kansas City Chiefs. Ravens 3.5-point favorites at home. Then at 3:30 on Sunday, San Francisco 49ers will be hosting the Detroit Lions. Niners 7.5-point favorites in that one. Sticking with the NFL here, Falcons hiring former Rams defensive coordinator Raheem Morris to be their next head coach. Panthers hire Tampa OC Dave Canales to be their next head coach. Two head coaching jobs remain. It's the Seahawks and the Commanders. Bill Belichick still out there waiting to be hired. College hoops, Aztecs get the weekend off. Last night, perhaps one of the best games in the college basketball season so far. Arizona falling to Oregon State on the road, 83-80. Oregon State hit a buzzer-beating three-pointer to win the game. That is number 9 in the country losing. 4 teams in the top 25 losing over the last 2 days. And after cut day in the Farmers Insurance Open, Stefan Jaeger in the lead, 12 under, heading into the third round, which gets going today in about 20 minutes. Get the appliances you need right away at Lowe's. Explore the largest assortment of brands you trust in-store, online, at the best values. Plus, take advantage of their everyday financing offers. Lowe's knows home improvement, subject to credit approval.
Yeah, man, it is a Bar Card Friday here. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. Yeah, let's make a little noise. What a show we have had. Jam-packed. Lou Ferrigno stopped by. Matt Friend stopped by. We got producer Shelly, celebrity cocktail mixologist in here. Oh, wait, I'm sorry.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
sorry. Not mixologist.
I got so much flack from my boss, because I work at a bar, and he's like, "Oh, you're a mixologist now, not a bartender? When did you decide to level up?"
If you're
And I
not a
was like,
mixologist, I don't know what you are. 'Cause
Yeah.
this drink
Yeah.
is actually incredible.
You don't make drinks. You build delicious libations.
Correct.
This thing is
Correct.
art.
Can I
This
tell
is
you
art.
that last little round that I made you guys when I brought the concept to my boss last night at work? He was like, "Okay, now I'm proud of you." Like, that was
Yeah.
a really good one.
Yeah.
So
We're gonna move that microphone just a little bit closer to your mouth.
right there?
we
We
go.
don't
That's
heard that
good. That's
before,
good.
but
Yeah,
okay.
right, right.
Trey, Shelley made an awesome drink, but the superstar of this drink is the whiskey.
Jefferson whiskey, Jefferson Reserve. We've got Trey Zoller with us, the founder, the owner. He's hanging out here on a Bar Card Friday. That's what we've been sipping. That's what we've been tasting. That's what Shelly's been mixing up these drinks with. And what are we mixing up now? Actually,
this one is actually, Trey, if you want to go ahead and describe this one, this is the one that you suggested that I make.
Is that the Brown Derby?
It's the Brown Derby. Yep, that's the
Nice.
one.
Yeah, the Brown Derby it's a cocktail that my grandmother basically used to make us if we had a cold or something wrong with our throats.
I love a
A
good
little
grandmother.
grapefruit juice, a little honey, and a little bourbon in there. Shake it up. I assume I can't see it right now. Is that up? Is it over ice? How do we do
It's going to
this?
be on one rock.
yep,
Yeah.
We got it on one rock.
one rock.
So again, some easy sippers on a day where you might go out to the golf course. Shelly was saying, go ahead and have a few after a round. I think it's a little swing oil when you're playing. Helps, helps everything get a little lubricated and around a little bit better.
Yeah, no
So-
question about it. I mean, it's especially now with Tori going on down here this weekend, as we make our way toward Championship Sunday. These are all the things you want to get your hands on and available at Keg and Bottle, 10 locations around San Diego. Tony Kanja had a scram, but he's who introduced us to Trey Zoller with Jefferson Reserve. We've already partaken in 2 of his fine offerings. We're going to get to the 3rd, but we've been enjoying cocktails along the way. Before we taste this cocktail, do we want to do a little bit of bourbon, or I should say barrel picks? Do we want to submit?
I mean, are we ready to submit our picks for this
I mean,
weekend on a championship weekend?
Is it something that we're
Yeah,
interested
yeah,
in passing?
yeah.
I think we are. Yeah, it's that time. Every single Friday, we give you our picks. Right
We've
now,
been so bad at this.
right now, I'm gonna say, if you've been following us and backing our picks, you're losing a tremendous
Turns
amount
out
of money.
you shouldn't bet when you're drunk.
What?
If you're
What? Seems weird.
if you're fading our picks, you're making yourself a tremendous amount of money.
I'll just get mine
Okay.
out of the way. Niners -7.5. Book it.
Wait, might as well pick both games. You only got 2.
Yeah.
Okay, then Chiefs +3.5. I like that a lot too.
Interesting.
Okay, Niners, Chiefs. Okay, so do we want to go around the room here? Want to start with us, or I mean, I guess am I voting with my head or my heart?
I mean, you're with your wallet. I would suggest.
It's going to be Niners and Ravens. Niners and Ravens.
Oh, the logo conspiracy is here.
The logo conspiracy rings true. It's completely scripted. We already know who's going
And
there.
you're going full -7.5 for the Niners.
Yep.
Okay, so Ravens -3.5, Niners -7.5. Okay, I'm going to say it's going to be both underdogs. Now, I think
Wow.
the San Francisco 49ers win this game, but I do think the Detroit Lions cover. That offense has been good enough to keep pace with anyone. Ben Johnson, that's a reason why he's been a top head coach candidate this hiring cycle. So I like the Lions +7.5, and the Chiefs are the Chiefs. Like, how can you bet against Patrick Mahomes
Oh, I
getting
am
points?
so mad at Tony Conjure right now. You guys don't even
What
know.
did he do?
I
What did he do?
love the pick. I love it. He's taking Detroit. Tony
Yeah, of course
Khan's
he
taking
is.
Detroit. Come
Is he
on.
taking a money line?
Come on.
If he's taking a money line, you might have to call Tony after the show, and you two might have to go head to head.
Let's go around the room here. Aaron Bauman in studio. There you go. Jump on the mic here.
Aaron
Co-host
Bauman, by the
EB.
way, she does sales that are only $300 million or more.
That's right. That's right.
at
The
iHeart
boss is here,
San
so that's
Diego.
true, right? Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Not a yes,
So
thank
I
you.
think I think that pays 9%
Give or
agency,
take, plus or
18%
minus,
yeah,
15%.
local.
Yeah.
We're not mathematicians.
Yeah,
we
it's
don't
fine.
need to go
We're
into
not that far.
specifics, but look, it's just people meeting people.
Yeah. that's right.
EB, who do you have this weekend? Lions or San Francisco, Chiefs or Ravens?
I'm going to go 49ers for no reason at all
Okay.
for Ben.
Okay.
And I'm going to go Chiefs, and I'll tell you why. Not for Taylor Swift like you would think. I want more Jason Kelsey. I want the brothership.
Ooh,
I
yes.
want
Yeah.
the excitement, the shirtless
Yeah,
beer
yeah.
drinking.
There it is. Yep, there it is.
It's a Ben.
No. Wait,
It's-
wait. More of that.
It's a vibe,
No,
and I
wait,
love
no,
it.
wait,
I
no,
love
no,
it.
No, it's fine. It's fine. There's shirts.
I want the
It's
Jason
fine.
Kelsey celebration for his brother,
Hold on.
for the team.
Hold
it was
on.
incredible.
He really
Do
was.
you find Jason Kelsey attractive?
Yeah.
In like a cool dad kind of a way, I guess.
Okay,
Like he
yeah.
looks like a lot
He's
of
our guy.
fun,
He's our
right?
guy.
Chest hair.
Like I would
He's our
hang
guy.
with him.
He's our guy.
He's really he was named as a finalist for People Magazine's most sexiest men on the planet.
Yeah, right. He was a finalist.
Was he really?
Can I tell you,
Yeah,
can
he
I tell
was.
But I think it's the all-encompassing appeal, though, of him
But
too. It's
That's
not-
why I'm growing out the beard. I'm gonna get there, guys.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that. But this is laying the
Not with
groundwork.
SC fat loss or not.
It's
Not with SC fat loss.
It's like the groundwork for guys like us.
Yeah.
If
All right,
he's the
that's right.
sexiest man, or in the running for the sexiest
right.
man.
He's fighting the good fight for sure. Trey, do you have your picks?
You know what? I'm going to say if it's scripted, how does the NFL not put the Chiefs up there? Yeah, I've heard all
True.
about
True.
the Ravens and the 49ers, but it's too much money, I think. So I'm going to go conspiracy theory. I'm going to go Chiefs all the way.
Okay. All right.
There he is.
All right. We've got the Chiefs. Kathy, back there, you want to throw out a pick?
Niners.
Niners. She's
Okay,
going
I
Niners. She's
thought
going
so.
Niners.
Niners. I'll be in San Francisco this weekend.
Oh,
so-
wait, are you going to the game?
No.
Oh. Oh,
It just happens to
course not. Are
coincide.
you going to get some sourdough?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
we hear they're famous for their bread.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rice-a-roni?
Rice-a-roni, San Francisco
Good.
treat.
Good, good, good,
Okay,
good,
good,
good, good.
Those are the only two things we know about
Yeah,
San
that's it.
Francisco.
That's all I know,
So we've
honestly.
never been anywhere.
Yeah.
Boss
Nor-
lady?
Boss lady Noreen?
I'm all for the 49ers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lived there once. And I think it's going to be the Ravens.
Wow.
Sorry,
Okay. All right.
Aaron.
All right.
It's all right,
You should fight,
Everybody gets
honestly.
a choice.
I want to bet. We need a bet to keep Ben's shirt on. This is.
Ah,
No.
there's
But he's so
nothing.
skinny.
We
There's
have
nothing-
Lou Ferrigno, and then we have
No.
Matt Friend.
Hang
Thank
on.
you, EB.
First of all, on this show, we have always encouraged man nipples.
That's right,
That is,
that's right.
I mean, it's like
In
almost
fact,
a tenant.
Speaking of,
Noreen, the first sales meeting I was ever in with you, I took my shirt off.
that is also true.
That's why you haven't been invited back.
Oh, good point. That's make a good point.
He also said that Jason Kelsey had perfect nipples.
He
did?
that was
You
Ben's
Googled
words,
it.
not ours.
You
That was
said that.
your words, not
Yeah.
ours. And we
Yeah.
admonished you for that.
Aaron, what do you
Publicly.
think?
Yeah.
Dad nipples.
I'm not going to
Nipples.
comment on anybody's nipples.
Whoa!
Okay.
Wait.
Wow.
Highly
That's
controversial.
neither here nor there.
Whoa. Producer
Ridiculous.
Shelley, we need your picks.
I'm sorry, guys. I am doing also Niners, Ravens.
Niners,
Okay.
Ravens.
Yeah.
What about Jason Kelsey's nipples?
Honestly, I am here for that bod. That
Okay.
man can throw me over his shoulder. Look at the way I'm built. If he can throw me over his shoulder, I am there
That's the
for
reason
it.
why I'm like, I'm doing the
Golly.
caveman diet. I'm doing
Wow.
the work.
Wow. Oh man, we are mixing up some drinks here on a bar
Throwing
cart
over
Friday.
shoulder.
It's brought to you by Keg and Bottle. 10 locations all throughout San Diego County. If you want to pick up some Jefferson's whiskey, some Jefferson's Reserve, go to kegendbottle.com. Look that up. All kinds of deals going on today.
Yeah, discounted down to like $80,
$80
which is
for
crazy. And
for the-
913 texted in saying, "Thanks, boys. I'm going to pick up a bottle right now."
That's what I'm talking about.
Done.
That's what
All
I'm
right,
talking
That is
about.
big news. All right, we're gonna have bottom of the barrel coming up in
Mhm.
just a little bit, but first, TD, what were you doing on your phone last night? Because you weren't texting us. You disappeared from the group text.
He
You
was
no,
Googling Jason Kelsey.
no,
That's what
you're doing.
No. I was setting up my fantasy team, boys. I was setting up my fantasy lineup, and you're like, wait, you have a fantasy team? What are you talking about? Yeah, with DraftKings, the leader in fantasy sports. They just dropped a brand new fantasy app, Pick Six. Pick Six is the newest way for you to get in on the fantasy football action with DraftKings, and getting started It's easy. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and sign up using code SD760. Now, all you got to do is pick between 2 and 6 NFL players and choose if they're going to have more or less of a particular stat. For example, will a player have more or less than 100 rushing yards, or will a player have more than 1 touchdown? And you can track your lineup and compete against others for a shot at huge cash prizes. It's a ton of fun. I've got my whole family on in this now. It's a ton of fun. We do it together. So download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and sign up with code SD760. That's code SD760 only on DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Approved local P6 states. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 18 plus in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility restrictions apply. Valid only in states where DraftKings Pick 6 operates. For up-to-date list of states, please visit dkng.co/pick6states. Void where prohibited. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com. Coming up, bottom of the barrel on a Bar Card Friday, baby. Woo!
We finish up a Bar Card Friday in just 2 minutes. Good gracious. We're doing it. It's a Friday. It's a Bar Cart Friday brought to you by Keg and Bottle. 10 locations around San Diego. We have Busch tickets. We have to give these away. A September show coming up at Cal Coast Credit Union Amphitheater. LiveNation.com for more ticket information. But we're giving those away. Actually, let's do it right now. 8:55. That's the time to call in. 8:55 at 877-767-4760. If you want to win a pair of Busch tickets, caller number 5 is going to get that right at 8:55. Don't call in anytime sooner. Ben will literally hang up on you. We are joined in studio.
760.
I thought that was just my move for people.
Get the hell out of here.
Listen, we got Jefferson Whiskey, Jefferson Reserve in studio today. That's what we've been sipping here, tasting on a Bar Cart Friday, mixing up drinks. Producer Shelly, our celebrity mixologist, bartender, whatever you want to call. Wait, are you mixing up more of the same? Was the Brown Derby?
I'm not doing the Brown Derby. I'm doing the one that I made. We're going to call it Peach on the 19th hole.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Peach on the 19th hole.
That's right. A little bit wordy.
I don't know
title.
that we didn't ever give our reaction to this one, though.
No, I haven't. We haven't tasted it yet.
Yeah, that's the Brown Derby. That's
You
the one
guys
that
are
Trey suggested.
You guys are sipping before you're supposed to.
Whoa,
Trey,
hang
they're
on.
not doing this right.
Trey Zoller.
Trey Zoller, founder,
is joining
owner.
us. He's from Jefferson Reserve. We've tried 2 different of his offerings. This whiskey is absolutely delicious. It's on sale at kegandbottle.com. Trey's been patiently waiting with us to talk about the next drink. He suggested it. It's the Brown Derby. Grandma's old cough syrup is the way he described it. What should we be tasting as we give this our first sip?
So with that bourbon, what I'm doing is blending 4 different bourbons at 4 different ages and proofs together. The main one, which is about 65% of the total, is in a barrel with a really light char, which allows a lot of fruit flavors like orange and peaches to come through. So you're going to get some of that orange, peaches to come in mixed really nicely with that grapefruit and honey. So really should just slide down really, really easy and nice and kind of really coat your tongue.
You're damn
right,
right.
here we go,
It
here
really
we go.
does.
Reaction, Paolo, Dave, good stuff. Yeah.
My cough is gone.
Dave, you know what, Trey? Dave came in with a cough. He doesn't have a cough anymore. It's
Right.
unbelievable.
It works.
This is tasty.
Yeah.
Come
Shelly, well
on.
done.
Thanks,
Producer
guys.
Shelly, this is unbelievable.
delicious.
I appreciate
Man,
that.
oh, man.
I just followed the gentleman's recipe just like his grandmother made it.
Fantastic. It's fantastic, Trey.
I love how like children gather around my sick grandchildren.
Right. Don't act like your grandma didn't have something in her back pocket.
Yeah.
I'm actually jealous. My grandma made like zucchini milkshakes when we were sick. This is
Weird-
way better.
What?
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, what did you say? A zucchini milkshake?
It's an
milkshake?
Italian thing.
Oh,
It
wait,
was-
no figs in it though.
There.
No,
That's
just
the
like,
difference between California and Kentucky.
yeah, yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
By the way, her nickname was Redneck Granny.
Redneck Granny. I just love the fact, like, actually,
My
my
grandma's
pediatrician said the kid had RSV this fall, and she said, no, just give him bourbon.
That's right.
It's gonna
That's
be
right.
fine.
That's
No.
right.
Trey, this has been fantastic. We owe you a lot of credit for walking us through all this. Jefferson Reserve. The last question we have for you: how did you get into this? Like, what made you want to distill spirits?
You know, I grew up in Kentucky and I never thought about being in the bourbon industry because everybody drank bourbon. And then I moved to a half dozen different places around the country and nobody was drinking bourbon. And so I was kind of this obnoxious Kentucky kid being the Pied Piper of bourbon. And about that time, my dad bought a single barrel of Bushmills Irish whiskey. And he saw it in an ad in the back of a Delta magazine. And I thought, if he can buy a barrel from Ireland, why can't we buy barrels from our friends in Kentucky? And at the time, bourbon was in a 30-year decline. So there was this great ocean of aged barrels. And I was able to cherry pick these distilleries and start blending bourbon together. So
That's awesome.
kind of had an opportunity that a lot of people didn't have, being from there and looking at where bourbon could possibly go.
Wherever you are, wherever you're listening today, Jefferson Reserve, kegandbottle.com. If you're listening on the free iHeartRadio app,
Yep.
Go to the website. If you're listening in San Diego, run I mean, sprint, get to Keg and Bottle, one of the 10 locations around San Diego. This is great juice. Hey, Trey, thank you so much for joining us today.
You got thank you for having me on here, and it's a great partnership we've got with Keg and Bottle. Great to do these single barrel programs.
Love it. Love it. Put a bottle of this on your shelf and open her up on an NFL championship weekend. Some killer games. Also, we made the announcement, man. We got the tailgate coming up in 2 weeks. So you got to make sure you're out at K&B Bistro, Keg and Bottle out on Del Cerro. I mean,
Del Cerro?
I'm going to take a lap. I'm going to take a lap.
We have so many people to thank today. First of all, everybody in studio. First of all, Trey, that was awesome today with him. Lou Ferrigno, the Incredible Hulk, was here. Matt Friend, one of the best impressionists in the world, was here. Some dude from Detroit talking about pizza was here. Joe something.
Oh gosh.
Dominorino.
Something like Dominiac. I think that's right.
The COO from Buddy's Pizza.
You know what? It was fun. And also, Jared Smith was here talking about bets. Find everything on the free iHeartRadio app. Find everything on YouTube. We love y'all. See you on Monday.
Call right now for those Busch tickets.
Yep, you got it. The Herd is next. We'll see you next week.